Free breakfast buffet every morning. You don't pay extra for the resort fee. You get a rental car. The parking is free per room.
What kind of?
And then the club lounge has unlimited food and unlimited beverages.
It's $8,700 total package
for 8 days. That's the Ritz-Carlton too. But look what it comes with. It comes with the cars, the flights, comes with everything.
Oh, that's everything. For 2 people?
For 2 people. But look at these other ones.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance.
That's everything too.
For $5 grand, I can eat at the best goddamn restaurants on the island, is how I look at it. You know what I'm saying?
And you could save.
They got some good packages.
Costco, man.
Yeah.
In fact, when you're looking, Costco blows them. Here's one right here.
Go through Costco for the...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Here's a
Costco card?
No, but my sister does.
It'd be worth getting for this.
I didn't realize they usually include tickets.
So 4-star hotel, rental car, hotel, flights, round trip, one way, Denver right to Maui, $3,300.
Whoa.
2 people. I think I paid $1,500 a pop for airfare last
That
year.
is a
Wow.
really good price. And that's how many days?
This is, let me look what I got here. I think it's 8, man. November 4th through the 12th.
Oh, that's in November too.
Yeah, is that good or bad?
No, I think that's good because it's starting to get cool here, and then versus going there in the summertime.
That's 8 nights.
That's right before I guess their winter. That's before they'll start really jacking prices up. 'Cause I think Thanksgiving is when they start.
Dude, I'm gonna book. Just so you know, I'm booking Hawaii early November. So.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Hey man, you wouldn't believe how many fucking people.
How many people?
Don't pay cap gains tax. I mean, there's so many people now making more than, and this one guy was asking me about it. Yeah, no, I don't have to pay. I bought a house more expensive. I said, you don't understand. It doesn't matter. Light property doesn't matter with homes.
No, but if it's their primary residence, they're not paying it up to 500 or whatever it is.
Well, I know, but there are people making more than that.
You know what's weird though?
They're making more than
That's
that.
because they're not smart and they're not getting that basis up each.
I know, but you know what? Here's the deal, man. They really believe they don't owe it.
Well, they're nuts.
There's always a water here every day I walk in. Every single day.
I wouldn't drink it. It looks open.
Mm-mm.
Which hotel did you stay at last time in Maui? You said you liked it.
Fuck yeah, I loved it.
What was it?
The Hyatt.
It was called the Hyatt?
I thought it was the... Wait, I thought it was the Hyatt because that's who we know. The Hyatt. But the Grand Wailea, I love too.
What is it called?
The Grand Wailea.
And it's on Maui? Or
both of them are on Maui.
You like Maui better than the other one?
Yes, I love Maui more than anything, but I've been to the other ones only not to stay though.
How about the little one, Kauai or whatever?
I don't see. Yeah, they're all really beautiful, but I really like.
Can't even get around.
I like Maui, and then
no, you can get around. It's
what I like is Maui, and then you take the shuttles. I mean, you can go to the other islands.
All these Costco ones come with car rentals, man. These are incredible prices.
When I told you, you didn't believe it.
I fucking didn't believe you.
My trip was so inexpensive.
It's
I can't
crazy.
believe it. We had such a good time and paid. I mean, it was a cheap trip, Mark. It was cheaper than going to New York.
I can't believe it.
I know.
Sure, the big
I'm having
island.
my wife book that pretty quick here.
It's crazy,
Hey
man.
man, I have 2 new spots in
If you go to the big
Dropbox,
island, you should
next
rent
gen to be
motorcycles.
loaded.
Tour the big
2 of them.
Well,
And
when
they're
we did,
for,
what is it, Oahu?
American Restoration.
We had a rental car. We had a great time, man. We hit the Dole Pineapple. I mean, we did all kinds of bogus shit.
Don't you think
It
that'd be
was a
fun
blast.
to take a motorcycle around?
Yeah.
Like rent a Harley?
Nah, too many homeless to die.
Can you do that?
I'd rather just...
Yeah.
Can you rent a Harley? They will let you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can rent it.
Well, you gotta have a motorcycle.
Well, I know, but some states don't require a motorcycle license. But I want to know how they know you know what the fuck you're doing.
They just assume.
Yeah.
I guess that's the same with
Hey, I
renting
think
anything.
if you got the motorcycle thing on your license,
The endorsement.
I would rather assume that you're better at motorcycle.
I have the motorcycle endorsement, and I'm dangerous.
How do I get that, by the way?
What?
You gotta take the class. You gotta go.
Well, you have to take the class.
I took a weekend, or wait, I took like a weekend.
Wait a second. Do you... How do you get your fucking motorcycle to the class? Let's get down to
Well,
real shit here.
the classes, you can, I don't know. Well, you get a permit. Do you know with a permit you can ride a motorcycle?
Okay, so I just go get a permit.
Which is fucking weird. But you can ride a motorcycle. What is the rule? You have to have another rider with you or something? Or not on the bike, but with a motorcycle permit. But mine, you don't want your bike, because I had a big one. They have the little 250s to teach you everything. They're easy to manipulate, right? But then this guy said, Tom, you're not safe if you take out that big mother. You just, but he didn't like doing it that way, but that's his school. He said, I want you to come.
With your bike.
Once you get your license. You get your license, then you do the real learning.
Well, I mean, I've ridden street bikes forever.
I know.
Where I came from, I didn't have to have an endorsement.
New York didn't require it when we were
New Jersey didn't, Oklahoma didn't, I don't know about
I don't
New
think
York.
Florida did. Well, I know that some of them did. Whatever it was, I didn't.
I went and took my test with a
It's stupid.
Harley with a big long front end on it.
Stupid to have endorsement?
Big stretch
Yeah, why
front
would
end.
you have an
Made it.
extra thing for a motorcycle? It's retarded.
I took my lesson, my test, I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
I didn't realize
like
some
550.
states didn't.
And I just gunned it and popped the clutch, and I got to the end of the parking lot, and I realized I was going way too fast. I was like 20 years old, 21, and so I threw on the back brake, and I skidded like a motocross.
Jesus Christ.
I got
And
my
I went back to the beginning, and the instructor's looking at me going, son, what are you doing? We're not timing this.
I got my motorcycle license when I was 14.
What was the name of some of the resorts you've been to?
Just only two, the Grand Wailea and then the Hyatt, I believe. It was the Hyatt.
Mark, there's this place, it's right at the wharf in Lahaina Harbor,
On which island?
Maui.
Maui? What's it called?
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are not only solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, but recovering hundreds of millions of dollars over the years in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. How do I say this? I love what I do, and I thank you for being part of it. All you have to do is call me with a question or a concern. You might want to just mouth off, like you're sick and tired of something. Just let it out. And then what happens, other people might hear about it and have a solution. But whatever it is, no matter what, you always get some satisfaction from this show. Even if it's the satisfaction of me saying, I don't think you got a case, and then you think, I'm not going to waste my time, or you think, I'm going to prove him wrong, whatever. 303-713-TALK is our number when we're on the air. But we have a number that works 24/7 because we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeartRadio app, live on all kinds of apps also around the country, certain affiliates, and we also have, of course, the podcast. So whenever you're listening, 303-MARTINO will get right through. You leave a message, we'll get back to you, like a few of these people we've called back. Douglas, for example. And then we tell you about our guest today. We always have guests. Douglas, you want to talk about Velvet Media. Whoa, Mark.
I do.
Mark, is Velvet the one that we dealt with one time, Velvet? Are these a bunch of Italian dudes?
Yes, they are, Tom.
Yep. Yeah. So what happened with Velvet Media?
I kind of like those guys. I mean, they were a little
Mark,
off.
they were phony.
I don't know if they were phony,
Mark,
but what happened?
Mark, hold on. What we got charged for.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
We got charged for, and they took a WordPress app, and they claimed they were going to do all this coding. They did nothing. They didn't even know enough.
And they said they did child themes.
They don't even know enough for people listening. A child theme is where you take a template, but then you make child themes underneath it, and the reason you do that is for when you overlay updates, it doesn't wipe everything out. It's the most basic stuff they didn't do. And also, they had some so-called proprietary social media marketing, which was BS. I mean, all they were doing is taking pixels, and again, if I'm talking over heads, don't worry about it, but it's an intelligent learning tool that you use in social media to gain knowledge on what's working, what's not. Anyway, the bottom line is, I felt we were overcharged, but I must say, didn't they refund some money?
As soon as we asked.
Yeah. So, you listen, I like the guy we dealt with. That's what you're talking about. Mark, he was a good guy.
I did like him.
You know, they're very personable. I just think they talk more than they perform. But that's a personal opinion. They're not rip-offs in that they don't take your money and run. You know, it's not like a sleaze bucket. They're just not what I call quality. Anyway, I digress. What are you calling about?
Well, so after I heard him on your show, I hired him to do a business Facebook page for me and some Facebook marketing. And I have to agree with everything you said because that's what it looks like. And in the meantime, I didn't use it because business picked up through other means, but now I'm coming back to doing that. I found another company that I'm more comfortable using.
So what are you calling about? I mean, you know, they do work. You just, like I said, I just don't think it's quality. I think you pay too much for what you get. But do you want to know something? I have never once, not once, and I mean not once, ever found a company. Now, even ones on the show, even the ones that were on referral lists, even people I like that do what they say and say what they do 100%. And I don't mean 100%. I mean, like, there's nothing proprietary. They don't do anything more than anyone else. And it just sucks. I mean, and also SEO, let's just talk about that. You can't possibly do SEO adequately for more than one client in a space. If you want 2 plumbers, there's no way that you can adequately do that because you have 2 plumbers, unless one wants to specialize in drains and one wants to specialize in water heaters. But anyway, what basically are you calling about? I got to get right to the problem. What do you not like, Douglas?
So
are you saying you paid for things you did not get?
Well, we've asked for the codes to the Facebook page for the administrator, so somebody new.
Okay, so in other words, you want to exit and you just want your info.
Yes, and
okay.
they're refusing to give it to
Why?
us.
Are they saying they own it?
No. I have an invoice that shows I paid him for it.
Well, what do you need, actually? What exactly do you need? Your social media access?
What I actually need him to do is give my new administrator the codes to get on the Facebook page.
What codes are you talking about? You talking about your login?
Yes.
Well, Douglas, you don't have your own login?
No, I don't. I'm not a social media type of person.
Okay, so they created the account. It could be their account, bro.
Well, I paid them for it.
Yeah, but did you have a work-for-hire agreement? I don't know what you're involved in business-wise. I mean, from a logical, just day-to-day standpoint, person to person, it seems like, hey, we're not doing business anymore, let me have it. But here's what I'm thinking. I just think that there might be more to it than meets the eye. For example, did they create this account as theirs? What's the name of the account on Facebook?
It's Douglas E. Jensen, and it's a mortgage website.
Well, is that you, Douglas E. Jensen?
I am.
Okay, so that's kind of your property in that it's your name, but really, you got a sticky. I know. Right. But they may own the account. Hey, is Trenner around? Mark Trenner, Trenner Law. I'd love to ask him a question. Hold on a second. From a proprietary or intellectual property standpoint, it's very interesting. This is very interesting. Now, here's another thing. There's something called a backdoor. There are 2 things. There's an Easter egg. Well, more than 2, but the 2 things that come to mind, an Easter egg or a back door. Now, an Easter egg is widely known as simply an extra ditty you get, an extra something, which is usually a positive thing. There might be an Easter egg, for example, like when you go to Google.com and you see the Google heading. Well, there used to be Easter eggs if you do certain keystrokes.
Video games have them.
Or stuff. Okay. So an Easter egg might be a video game, and it might be a hack that they put in there on purpose. It's called an Easter egg, you know, like on an Easter egg hunt. But then there are bad Easter eggs. They leave. And there are also back doors so they can get back in. You know, this is a highly, highly confidential area of marketing. It's different than any other kind of marketing. When you give people access, and they know what they're doing, and they're coders, they could put deep, deep access in there and always have you at their mercy or sabotage you if they want. One of the biggest problems they do in social media, I'm going to explain it to you. If you have a social media agency, they're going to hate me for what I'm going to tell you. Because I'll bet you they're doing it to you, maybe not intentionally, but they're doing it to you. And I promise, if you listen to this, it's going to open your eyes. Even if you think you know everything about social marketing, please, I have some consumer advice, and it is critical that you listen. And Douglas brought it up. So what are we going to do for Douglas? Let's talk with Mark Trenner at Trenner Law. He's an intellectual property attorney. We'll see what he has to say about content versus contract. Can someone own the site where your intellectual property exists so long as they don't use it? Isn't that weird? You know what I mean? They're actually, because they can make the argument that you can go on and establish another Facebook page. You don't need them, but everything they created on that page is theirs. And it might be. But then there's something called work for hire. Do you know what work for hire is? It means, in most cases, that slang or that expression means that you are hiring someone and paying them, and everything they create belongs to you because you're paying it. Without a work-for-hire agreement, they could argue it's theirs. But now I am going to tell you something coming up that I promise you, you know, unless you're very savvy, you haven't heard about this trick that social media marketing agencies do and what they do against you without you even knowing it.
I already know what you're going to say.
Well, we'll talk about it coming up. I'm Tom Martino. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. And speaking of, you want to speak about Easter eggs? I'll tell you what the Easter egg is with Frank. His team. These people work for you diligently through the entire process, like friends and family. 303-920-1622, 920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
This report is sponsored
On
by Lowe's.
Facebook, what the hell was there 40 cops in our freaking neighborhood for?
Oh, you didn't
40
hear?
fucking cops?
You didn't hear?
Where'd you hear that?
My kid.
Oh,
That's a lot of cops, man.
that'd be all.
We say this place the Best Western.
I'm just loading all my stuff. Who is it?
It's right on the wharf. You're right in the middle of all the action. And then we also stayed at the Hyatt Regency for $400 twice.
Should be a lot of riffraff.
So will I need, are they mostly 30-60 or a combo?
Weston or Best Western?
Best Western. Pine Area.
Oh, crap. Really? All of the lives have been 30?
That's where you
So
set
me,
base hours
okay.
and do everything.
All right, then I'm going to don't load
Like
those.
if you wanted to stay at a
I'm going to
couple of
recut
places or
them.
something.
No, I got you if you're bouncing.
Save 5% on eligible purchases just by using your Moses.
Isn't that town of Lahaina? Have you been to Lahaina before?
Mike's
I've
on!
never been to Mount.
American Restoration 24/7. This is a name I want you to put in your back pocket for when you need them, if you need them. I hope you never need them. I call it property trauma. Fire, flood, storm, mold, chemical exposure, toxins, asbestos. If you need a cleanup, no one better than American Restoration 24/7. It's that easy. 8337-AM-REST. 8337-AM-REST or amrest247.com. Man, it's hard just to get their fucking name out now. So there are no 60s on that log that you recall since they've been on. Okay, so I'll definitely recut those, send this one through. We're going to need as much as we can to build it up. Also, it's very important, buy and build. We have to go through them in, I know there are a lot. Anything that says 40, anything that says the old address. I'll come in and talk to you. It's really important.
K-Hal, and then K-Hal and the one below it.
What's the next one here?
pressure, and never any upfront fees. Just a loan customized for your needs. You might even be able to delay up to 2 months of mortgage payments. You have nothing to lose except a bunch of interest expense. So give them a call.
Then I'll get my shot sheet loaded. I just didn't get any of that done.
I can't get over that. This pricing.
Online at AmericanFinancing.net.
You sure that's for two?
Mike's coming on now. K&H Home Solutions, a company that I used throughout the years for windows, siding, doors, and more. K&H Home Solutions. And here's what they have now. If you buy 5 windows or more, which are durable, energy efficient, beautiful, custom fit, made to their specs, they will install them for $1. And that's for real. And they have great financing options available. Call for details, 303-421-7100. Now, they want you to make your own appointment if you want, if you can. You go online, khwindows.com, and you can pick your own appointment. They'll bring all the latest and greatest in windows and siding and doors and more. K&H has what you're looking for, and again, everything comes with great warranties and a company that will be around to honor them. khwindows.com. 5 windows or more, installation for just $1. khwindows.com.
Been charged with a DUI. You need good representation. You need
This stuff on Facebook and the media stuff he's talking, I'm completely lost.
On social?
Yeah.
I've never heard you being lost.
It got me. I'm completely lost.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm behind the curve. It's very difficult. Here's what I find the most difficult. I went on to Reddit, and Reddit is just something that is way beyond anything else. It's basically what used to be an old-fashioned bulletin board. People post things, and then people like things or not like them. But then they have subreddits, which are just topics. Like one will be a whole subreddit on PewDiePie, which is a YouTuber. There might be a whole subreddit on Area 51. There might be a whole subreddit on politics or whatever. I'm just giving examples. And you post things, and the idea is to get karma. The more upvotes and the more great witty comments you make. Otherwise, you can't post at all without karma. You have to be on for a while, so there's no spamming, really. There's a lot of inane bullshit, but people have been there a while. And what I find amazing is what...
Dan, I'll touch base with your client.
I told Mark this. What constitutes interesting and popular posts?
Bug me in a few weeks.
It's just amazing.
To reschedule him, because I don't want to miss that.
It's just, like, for example...
And with all that billing stuff I'm doing, Dan, I'm screwing stuff
I've tried to make things funny, creative, witted. Like, I put too much thought into it. I'm sure I do. I did something I thought was really good. So my daughter and she said, Dad, no, you don't understand. I said, I understand. She takes a picture of fries and says, this is all we got when we ordered fries. And it went through the roof. And it was a stupid picture of fries with nothing else.
She got screwed on fries.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Okay, with digital agencies that do social marketing, with Facebook especially now, there's a piece of software you put on your website to monitor progress. They monitor the progress. It's called a pixel, and this monitors who reacted to your ad. Okay? Easy, right? What do you do with that information? Well, if you send it out to an audience of 10,000, and 8,000 of those did not respond, but 2,000 did, then the next day you make what's called a like audience. Audiences could be a certain age, certain neighborhoods, certain economic factors, anything. You can have people who just bought a house, people who never owned a house, people who have cars, people who don't have cars, you can define your audience, and the pixel will track right to the gnat's balls exactly what is working. So you have a fingerprint of people in your industry working for specific things. Well, what they don't tell you many times is that they're doing a pixel. They just, because they have access to your website, they put a pixel on the server, which is fine if it works for you. But you don't own that pixel. And here's what they do. They have a roofing client or a plumbing client, and they gather all kinds of valuable information. And guess what? They own it. They go to another plumbing company, and they say, hey, I know what's working, and we can get you this, this, and this, or another roofing company. And they use the same exact information for their audience against with your competitor. Okay, you may say, well, they're not allowed to have any competitors. I have an exclusive agreement. Well, if you don't keep them, that pixel gets smarter and smarter and smarter. And if you don't keep them and you say goodbye to them, they take that pixel with them. So you really are paying for their edification. What you need to do is own everything. And but you don't even know what to ask for. There are similar feedback machines for other forms of marketing. But if you don't know they even exist, you don't know what to demand. It is a market where people are getting fleeced without even knowing it. Just like people got fleeced during Y2K. We talked about that yesterday when someone called in. Y2K. There were companies hiring Y2K compliant experts who did nothing. But because everyone bought into it, they all were working for it. Just like people are buying into climate change. Now, hold on. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying climate's not changing. But you're not going to get anyone to do anything about it. Because it's not man doing the climate change. So here's the deal, is that people believe that something exists, so it exists. So they start buying into it. Y2K. People did not even know how they were being ripped off. Even governments hired Y2K compliant people, but they didn't even know what they were doing. It was the biggest ripoff of all time. We have another ripoff now with social media. It is such a new field, relatively new, that people are getting ripped off every single day without even knowing it. And these people that are gathering the information are just using it against another. It goes with SEO, it goes with marketing, it goes with all of that. If you have a social media agency, you need to own the tracking software, the pixels, and related apps. You need to own them. But how do you know? How do you know they're not going to take that information? You see? This is way more than normal advertising. All right, 303-713-8255. I want to introduce Jay Bretz. He's with us today from Excel Roofing. If you have any roofing questions, you can give us a call. I have some questions for him. That would be fun. And really, we talk about whole house fans. Well, he does an attic fan, which is different, but I think they work in concert. I know they do.
Tom, let's go back to the media for a second, to the social media and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And best practices, if you don't know anything about it, make sure you get your passwords and your logins on a master sheet.
No matter what.
From everybody that's working on you. And the other thing...
And give them second-level access where you can always revoke their privileges.
For sure. And make sure that whoever is doing your website, that you get at least a weekly off-site backup. Because if your website goes down and you can't get back into it, you're toast.
And the backup needs to be on your server or with you.
Somebody, a third-party type person.
Yeah, but someone you have access to, not them.
Exactly.
Someone you know and you do. Tammy, what's happening? Hello, Tammy.
Hello.
What's going on, Tammy?
Well, it's a long story. I had a case that I'd called you about a couple of years back.
Okay, what was the case a couple of years back, Tammy? What was it?
I was charged with assault.
Okay.
And I had this lady that was threatening me. She was threatening to...
She charged you with assault based on what?
She didn't charge me. The cops did.
Well, I understand that.
The cops that she had told the cops that I assaulted her.
Yeah, that's what I meant. She brought the charges.
Right, but what happened was she was threatening me, and she came after me and my 4-year-old with a knife. And I got scared, and I told her to stay back. And when she came running at me, I sprayed her with pepper spray.
Okay, I have. Now, were there witnesses, Tammy?
Yes. Yes. Two adults. The rest were kids.
So this took a few years to get to court?
Well, it took a year to get through court. It took us a year of showing up, every other week,
Okay, and this is your criminal case you're talking about?
It started out with a criminal case, yes.
Okay, and then you were charged. Was it dismissed, or were you found not guilty? What happened?
I had hired Joseph Lazara.
Oh, good.
He was wonderful. He's very good at what he does.
And for those listening, Joseph A. Lazar is a criminal defense attorney on our referral list. Okay, so go ahead.
So then what happened is when it came down to trial, she did not show up.
Now, you're talking about are you talking about the criminal trial?
Yes, the criminal trial. We came to criminal trial, and Carolyn Saxononi did not show up for the trial.
Okay, well then what did the DA do?
She was the quote-unquote victim, and then the DA had to dismiss it. He didn't have any choice.
Got you.
Without a victim, you don't have a crime.
Exactly.
And, well, not only that, but she couldn't really show up because if she had showed up on the stand, she would have had to commit perjury, which you're looking at, 10 years for perjury. So, of course, she couldn't show up.
And I don't know anyone who has ever gotten time for perjury because it happens every day, and unfortunately, no one takes it seriously. But anyway, what happened then?
Right. And I don't know why, but they should.
I know.
So then it gets dismissed. Then I filed in small claims court. And
what did you file for?
I filed for lawyer charges, defamation of character, libel.
Well, there's no defamation of character in small claims court because they only do money, and you had to have a specific price. But the attorney's fees, I can see. How much did you sue for in small claims?
I did the whole $7,000.
Okay, or it's $7,500.
Yeah, that's what I did, the full amount.
Okay. Did you itemize it?
I wanted to get back my. I mean, I have all of Joseph Lazar's receipts all ready to go.
So what happened in small claims court? What happened in small claims court?
They dismissed it, but I also had the sealing of my record because when I got my case dismissed in the criminal court, I got an apology from the judge, and also as a courtesy, she printed up my paperwork to go get my record sealed. There was also the cost of all that. But everything, Joseph Lazar helped me out with everything as far as having all the costs.
All right, so what are you calling about today?
Small claims dismissed it due to the liable, which I'm not an attorney.
Due to what? Due to what? Tammy, due to what?
The defamation of character, the liable. She said that's libel, and you cannot...
Oh, you can't sue for that in small claims court, just what I said. Exactly.
So she dismissed it without prejudice.
refile for attorney's fees only.
No. I did, well, like I said, I just asked for the full amount, plus my attorney's fees, plus I was asking for all of the costs.
It doesn't, listen, man, I'm just saying, okay, it was dismissed. If you still want to go after her, just refile for attorney's fees. You can go after that.
Oh, okay.
The only part...
I lost my place to live.
Well, the only part... That has nothing to do with small claims. You lost your place to live. What I'm getting at is this. You sued for things that you don't sue for in small claims court. The judge rightly dismissed it. So now you can refile. It was without prejudice. That means they left it open
to refile in the appropriate court.
Exactly.
Well, see, I thought that meant to go to county. I thought that meant that I had to take the rest of it to county.
Well,
so I took it to county.
Tammy, that's good if you want to take it to county, but no, you didn't have to. You can sue for monetary damages, which are attorney's fees, in small claims court if it's beneath a certain amount. If you went to county, then what happened? What happened in county?
Well, now it cost me another $900 just to have her personally served.
Okay.
Avoiding all my private...
Now what? What are you calling about, though? I'm not sure what you're calling about. You're doing everything correctly. You went to county court. What are you calling about right now? How can we help you?
So then on June 25th, we were supposed to show up to court.
Okay.
And of course, I was there and she was not. Now, when I talked to the clerks of the court before that, they said if she does not show up on the 25th, they would enter default judgment into my name.
All right, hold on. Let's just take it from there. So here's the bottom line. You're suing for attorney's fees or whatever. You're in county court. She didn't show up. People think defaults are automatic. 98% of the time they are. But there are some hitches.
And then after I got off,
thank you.
I completely forgot. I saw a squirrel. I was sorry about that. Squirrel!
Thank you.
Actually,
I was just
when
gonna
you
tell
walk
him you
through a
got
doorway,
sidetracked with the phone.
No
Yeah,
biggie.
I did.
What do you
I
want
just
to
think
do
it
about
zaps your
Douglas
brain when you
Smart
go through the
Trimmer?
doorway.
I texted him. I haven't
Well,
heard
get 'em
back.
off, and then we'll
I know.
have
Okay, so what we
really
do is try
work
to help him, and then
We should call Belgium and
we
get
used
their
to know those
side.
guys.
I know
Talking
we
to
talked
the
about
attorney in
lawyer.
Denver,
Just
or
sued
you know.
15,000.
Yeah, but I didn't know the problem. I wasn't.
Well, here's the deal.
Crazy.
Right now, he just fired him. He wants access to his Facebook and all that. And I'm saying, well, maybe they own it. You know, he might own his name of his real estate agency, but technically, if someone built a Facebook for referral list, and I didn't have an agreement, and they did it, they could own it.
Very difficult.
And if they own it,
Yeah.
they can't use it.
Yeah.
They can take out that name.
Hey, Ed wants to talk to you guys.
You're gonna lose again.
Yes, dear.
He goes to county court for defamation without an attorney, she'll lose again. It's a very difficult thing to prove.
Doesn't the judge get pissed?
Well, okay. So I have none in the bank right now. I'll have to work on them. Dr. Chris Centeno is the father of stem cell therapy. He started it all in a clinical setting for humans after observing what it was doing for horses. That's a true story. And then the rest, as they say, is history. Dr. Chris Centeno started Centeno Schultz. Eventually, working with Dr. Schultz, they have 2 clinics, one in Broomfield and one in Lone Tree. Here's what I love. They do living stem cell therapy, so you can bypass all the phonies, all the chiropractors, and go straight to NDs who do living stem cell therapy. And if it's not indicated, they'll do something else. For example, Deputy Clint went, and they said, you know what? We think we can handle this with PRP, platelet-rich plasma. And he had extraordinary results. Centeno Schultz, what do I say? The best of the best. CentenoSchultz.com. No, here's the easier website. TheStemCellExperts.com.
So Tom, just like to know that Tammy is going to the county court without a lawyer.
The volcano
But
is.
it's okay as long as the other one
right
doesn't
here,
have a
but there's
lawyer.
another, the big one.
If
is
the
right
other
there.
one has a lawyer, she's going to be fucked.
She's doing all this live.
I rode my bike.
Oh, I know. It's what a disaster.
Right, it's a disaster waiting for it to happen.
There's a downhill bike ride that you can take.
You can, so they'll shuttle.
God,
you to
did
the
we
top
learn that,
and
right?
you
And
can
she's
ride
going for
it.
15 grand.
But that woman truly did screw herself.
That's cool.
She really
I don't
did screw.
know.
I mean,
she
she
thought Tammy's going back to
See the
small
Holly
claims.
Flower,
She's
that's
trying to
the
get
road
money
right
for
there.
a
Look
house
at this
she
road going
lost
up.
because she had to pay for the lawyer. I know.
If you're doing a home improvement,
Then you go up through here. Yeah, so.
you know,
I think they charge
that is
$100.
a terrible thing when you're falsely
I know, my
accused of
dad's
something,
local
really,
member, all
and that's
he's done it.
malicious prosecution.
I have about 6
But
or 7 times. My wife and I have never been.
you know, she can prove her case. There are some damages there, but she's not going to win.
The cops did testify.
Yeah,
And
so you go.
Testify?
I'd like
What do
to
you
get my
mean?
wife back
when
on her bike.
she didn't
August
show up, the
11th, she had
victim
a
didn't show
bad
up,
bike
cops still
accident.
testified, and Lazara just ate him
On her
up.
mountain bike. She
Oh, really?
You probably won't like it then.
She was doing 40 miles an hour.
Really?
Hit her. She had a traumatic brain injury, both rotator cuffs. She didn't know who I was for weeks.
Well, that was probably the good part.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like...
Are you looking at the map of Maui there, Mark?
Yeah. I like this Sheraton.
So Maui's where do you want to go if you've never been? You want to go to Maui?
It's good I have the Raleigh House. I haven't heard from them in a long time.
It's just a little tourist town, Paella.
Yeah.
But then, right off here is where that wave is, Jones.
Yeah, and I don't mind doing more than one in a break either.
Surfers, yeah.
But that's in the middle of the winter.
There are some I always want live. I'm going to put them up on top for you to see in the greens, so you'll always know.
Yep.
But which island is this?
But once we get you trained, you cannot leave. Like this son of a bitch that guy did for us, that grand... Oh!
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Waikiki Beach is beautiful. Waikiki Beach is 16th Street.
Look at that, man. Straight flight.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Oh, no, I think it's
No. Costco's the best kept secret in the entire world.
Let's not say that online.
I didn't realize they normally have the
That guy that
plates.
started
I thought they
Oracle,
usually...
Barry Ellison.
Yeah.
No.
Man, they do everything No, they do everything, and I'm telling you, we just were astounded.
He bought it from them. There's a really cool
9:55 a.m.
I know.
I'm not sure how many.
Look how we took this flight, except there was a
Red
fuck, we didn't get it.
Literally.
They're the best.
It's about it though. There's not. That's all they are.
They're the best. You sleep
so bad.
and really, you know what? Who the hell cares? If it's in the middle of the day, I think it's worse. You're wasting valuable time.
It's just it's kind of, well, there'll be United not as bad as Frontier sleeping on the place.
Hi, Tom Martino, you're a troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, Jay Bretz is with us, Excel Roofing. Jay, we love Whole House fans. I don't know if they're on the log today. They're a client, and they're wonderful. QC of Colorado, Quiet Cool, those Whole House fans, they pull it up through the house and circulate the air and get rid of the hot air in the attic, but that's only if people have enough ventilation in the attic. We have always said, Mark and I have always subscribed to this, that before you do anything, you must be sure your attic has adequate ventilation. They don't all need fans. I don't think it would hurt. It would always help. But how many roofs do you see in your roof repair business? How many attic roofs do you see without enough ventilation?
Prior to
percentage-wise,
2010, it seemed like all of them were done incorrectly. They just didn't have enough vents.
So houses older than 2010?
Yeah, probably like 90% of them. But as so many houses around the Denver metro area have been re-roofed, a lot of them have been brought up to code and correct attic ventilation standards.
So roofers know enough to do that?
Some of them do. It's the simplest concept, but the most easily what I would say
the easiest correction.
It's what's screwed up the most.
Okay.
Roofers just tend to not get that one right. It's so easy. You just want the cool air to go in through the bottom and the hot air out through the top.
Okay, and through the bottom, which would be what's called a soffit.
The soffit, and for those listening, that's right underneath the gutters.
It's the shedding ceiling there.
That's right. It's that perimeter around the house.
You have an overhang, and then you go from the tip of the overhang straight to the wall, and that's called a soffit.
That's right. And you should be able to walk around the perimeter of your house and look up and see some vent grates on that soffit. And if you don't see a vent grate every 15 to 20 feet, you probably do not have.
And you saw, when I bought a house, I had you check, and there were plenty of grates on my soffits.
They were little bird holes is what those were.
They didn't put in the vent just to get past code. They went up and screwed vents in.
Yeah, they were fake. Those
fake vents. So listen. So to eyeball, people need to make sure they have soffit vents.
So to go back to that house, what we did, we went in and we cut in a bunch of vents to let the air in, and then we put in a couple solar-powered attic fans on the top of the roof.
Right.
And we changed that house from having completely improper ventilation to having great ventilation.
Now that in itself is going to help you with heat and AC. It's going to help you keep that circulating that air, and it's going to keep your roof longer without delaminating, and it's going to keep air conditioning working less. That alone. Now, I suggest everyone, there's nothing wrong with a whole house fan. It'll never do you harm. I love them in every case. But before you even bother, you need to make sure your attic is adequate. My guy said at QC Colorado when he put it in, he said, now, Tom, just make sure your attic is properly ventilated. They check it. But I'm going to have you check it again just to make sure, and probably put in one of those German fans. Because those fans you put in, now remember, we're not talking about whole house fan now. The whole house fan is for the house, and it's in the ceiling of the top floor. The attic fan is an attic fan, which extracts from the attic only. And when they work in concert, they are perfect. How does the German fan work? You don't have to wire it. You don't have to mend it. You don't have to get to it. What?
That's right.
You don't have to turn it on. You don't have to turn it off. What do you do?
And your description is correct, Tom. It's a fan, and we put it up on top of the roof to suck that hot air out of the attic.
And
if you have a whole house fan working with it, that whole house fan pushes the air into the attic, and then that fan on top would pull it out as well.
But you don't have to turn the fan on and off. How does it work?
It's got a photovoltaic cell, which is a solar panel
which
on the
keeps
top
it
of the
charged
fan.
all the time.
It does. As long as it's not a cloudy day, it's going to run all the time, which is great because during the winter time, it's going to pull moisture out if you need that.
And it turns it off and on when you need it, right? Isn't it thermostatically controlled?
You can put a thermostat on there. Most of the time, I just put it up there and let it run because during the winter time,
because it does no harm. How long can it run, do you think, before it wears out?
I tell you what, with the German motor and these ones that we use, these things run for years and years. And I have people that'll call me up every now and then. They'll say, I think my fan's broken. I can't hear anything. We go up there and it's working fine.
How much
they're
are
just
they?
So quiet. One of those solar-powered attic fans. If you called me up and wanted me to put one on your house, it's $999, so $1,000.
You know, Jay, I told QC, I love these guys, I said, why don't you guys do this? I mean, as part of your deal. Like, in other words, he said, well, here's what he said, and I get it. He says, I don't want to give the impression I'm upselling. As soon as I get in the house, I say, okay, you also need this. I can see that mentality, I guess. Yeah. But, Jay, you're in the roofing business. I mean, do you really want to be in the fan? In other words, you're going to get a slew of calls that just want that fan. Is that okay?
It is okay, and I know the $1,000.
Because I know you don't make a lot of money on it.
No, we don't, and it might sound expensive to people, but the reason I really like the solar-powered attic fans is because you don't need an electrician. If you get an electrician involved, it's going to cost you at least $500, and they tell you need a brand new circuit.
So what you do is cut a hole, drop it in. Do you flash it and do all of that?
We do. We take
for that price.
For $1,000. Yep.
Okay, so you're in the business of roofing, and if people just want an attic fan, you will do it.
We will do it. We're in the business of solving people's problems.
303-761-6400. Now, Mark, you say you have one, but you have a turbine.
Yeah, I've got a big. It plugs in, man. I mean,
but it was there when they built it.
You set the temperature. Yeah, whoever built it.
Now, hold on. Let's get to the calls, please. Aaron, I know you called us, then we called you back, so I'm not going to make you wait too long. What's going on, Aaron?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, man.
It's kind of a short story, but
my
wife and I were in the looking for a new car, and
new or used.
A used car.
Okay.
New to us. And we were looking for something with a third row seat. So we had decided to get an Audi Q7 and got on TrueCar and found a 2011 Audi Q7.
And I know you're not calling for this, but even our mechanics will tell you they're terrible cars, but keep going.
I thought mechanics loved them because they break so much and they cost so much.
They're terrible. So keep going, Aaron.
It had the diesel motor with 19,000 miles.
Not as bad as the others, but still suck. Okay.
And it was part of the Volkswagen emissions scandal.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it had so few miles on it. So there was a dealership in Golden called Import Warehouse that had one. And so I went and test drove it on Thursday.
All right, but here's the deal, though. Let's get to the purchase and problem, because I don't need to know this unless it's part of the scam or problem or whatever.
Okay, so I liked the car, told them I wanted to buy it.
Get that.
They said, do you want to pay cash or finance it? I said, I have cash, but it takes 3 days to go from my online bank to my credit union account. Can I finance it, make a couple of payments?
And then pay it off.
Cash. He said, sure. Fill out this credit.
Now, Mark taught me a trick sometimes. They have special incentives sometimes when you finance. He said, I'll take the finance, get the special incentives, and then pay it off. And that's kind of like you were talking about, paying it off right away. So hold on, and let's figure out where this is going. He bought a used car, Audi Q7 diesel, 19,000 miles, financed it. Now what?
This report is...
You know what the oil change on one of those things costs? For that vehicle he's talking.
They're pieces of shit.
Do you know what the oil change costs? Take a guess.
$80.
Were you gonna?
$1,200.
No, what?
Tom, $1,200.
Yeah, Plumline is one of those that will always be like, what you need.
Were you gonna go back to Tammy? She said she never got to ask her question.
Absolutely. Tell her I forgot, and I'll be right to her. Thank you.
You know, my dad has an Escalade. It's a 2005.
I'm sorry. What's coming up right? Oh, Plumline.
New. And it just needed an oil pump.
Sure, got it.
The oil pump actually, that was $1,200 to do a whole oil pump. I mean,
Oil changes on those things.
Is buy and build long or short?
Yeah, and then make sure you send that to me.
You know,
Anything we
to
need,
keep it in
send
warranty,
to me,
you're
and I'll
supposed to bring
assume I
to the
need it.
dealer, and then the dealer probably performs some of it.
Okay, mic's on. Plumline Services for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And I mean drains because they have their own drain division. That's why they can do 93 or free. They'll clear your drain for just $93 or it's free. Now, if they can't clear it, that free call is worth a lot because you'll get a full written estimate of exactly what's wrong. And if you have them do it, it'll be better than any other business in the business because they have a direct drain division, their own equipment, their own repairs. 303-586-1086. 93 or free.
Up in Burnworth.
I don't need that.
And for 3 months, this pain never left. It was so horrible.
Because I'm doing these mostly live.
3 times I just about went and just took a whole bottle of pills just to get me done with it.
Buy and Build is the place to go for your kitchens and baths. And the new Buy and Build does installation as well. So not only do you save a ton of money, you get the expert craftsmanship of the Buy and Build installers. I did it. I loved it. And I saved a ton of money over the big box stores. You can too. Their new address, 560 South Lipan, just west of I-25 in Alameda. You go west on Alameda to Lipan, then south 2 blocks to 560 South Lipan. Buyandbuild.net. Below wholesale, 303-295-6022.
Okay, so it's saying between 200 and 250. I'm looking at some Audis. A buddy of mine told me it cost him $1,200.
For what?
To change the oil in his Audi.
Oh no, it could, absolutely. On some of them, there was one to do something. You had to lift a frickin' engine. I don't know if this is it, but
it could have been. When he told me that, I couldn't believe it. $1,200 for an oil change.
This one says on that one between 159 and 182. This Repair Pal, but I mean that's.
Yeah,
it's just.
I'm in Audi world, so they're talking about Audi dealers.
You can't always believe Dan though. He stirs up the shit now.
But it is a diesel. They must be able to go. What do you think? 7,500 miles?
Yeah. I don't know. Diesel dirties you up pretty quick.
It uses oil, doesn't burn it necessarily. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it uses it and turns black right away.
What about your car? How much does it cost for that one?
For the G? I don't really remember.
Probably 150.
You bring it to the dealer, or where do you bring it?
You know, right now, because it's so new, I've been bringing it to the dealer to do their...
My Genesis says concierge. They bring me a car, take it,
what do
the oil
My wife's car has the same 550 in the oil change, just kind of pricey.
Does she have a G-Wagon?
No, she has the ML that has the same 550, the same engine.
I didn't know that.
Are you sure it has a twin
Demon
turbo
car's
550?
great fast, although I'd never needed it for years.
That's fast.
My current one now
Real fast.
It's 500 horses.
Yep.
And it's a little sedan.
Wow, yep, the ML 550.
I didn't know. I don't know the ML 550. I did not know they. I did not know.
A little less like.
So they bring me a Genesis.
But it
They
has
take mine, and then swap it back when they're done.
It's a 4-seater, right?
It's a 4-seater, but it's like a hatchback. You know, like a little.
I see it. They're cute. Yeah.
But
Stephanie has
windshield wiper blades, oil changes, anything in the manual.
really cute car. It's rounded in the back.
It's pretty cool.
They call it fastback. I call it fastback.
Yeah.
Well, not like the Mustang, but I love her car.
You don't even have to buy
You know what it is?
a
A C or?
No, I forget.
What's that?
That's when we went to California and traded the Ferrari.
Oh yeah.
No gloves, just
and the stupid thing I did was I got a beautiful sedan, $130,000.
Oh, that S500 wasn't it?
Yeah, but fuck, I kept it for a year in a garage, lost 60 grand on it, or whatever. I didn't lose 60, but I lost almost, and then get the G. If I got the G right away, it would have been the thing. But she said, oh no, I don't like it. And then all of a sudden, she's seeing them all over, and she realizes I knew what I was doing. Then we went with it.
She watched the dinosaur movies and saw them.
No, they're so cute. They're so good. I love those G's. That is my favorite all-around car. It is so cool because it's rugged, but it's luxurious and it's fun.
That engine.
But if I buy a luxury car, it won't be a Mercedes. It'll be a fucking Genesis. Did you see what they do for that price?
I know that Hyundai makes a pretty good car.
Oh my God!
Okay, you can't touch in a Mercedes, 130,000.
And how much is the Genesis?
Oh, well, the way he shots, but even full retail, they're 70 something.
Where'd you get it from? 35?
No, 50.
Sweet.
More than sweet. You're literally talking twice as much. You're talking twice as much. How do you do that? Twice as much. You can't justify it. I remember talking at a car show years ago. It wasn't the Hyundai, but it was a similar match where they had a beautiful car for half the price. And the guy from Porsche was saying,
"What's that, baby?
Look at the lug nuts." You know, I think,
lug nuts.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Jay Bretz is with us, and they have that special $9.99 for that attic fan, which is amazing. Now listen, Aaron bought a car, financed it. He's got a question, but I forgot that Tammy had one. We left off with Tammy. This is the consequence, people, of listening to a man who is now entering his, well, leaving his mid-60s. Okay, so let's talk to Tammy very quickly. Tammy?
Yeah.
Okay, now, when you went to court, you kicked it up to county court, blah, blah, blah. We know all that. But the defendant did not show, normally, or not, yeah, about 98% of the time, that would be a default judgment in your favor. What happened?
They said that she filed her answer the day before and that they were having trouble with the filing fee. And I told them, I don't know what that means.
So she
and
was...
They said she was trying to waive the filing fees and that they were going to give her. Then they called me like 2 days later. They said, well, the filing fee is $50. We're going to give her till July 12th.
Okay, she did not ignore it. That was the secret. She did not ignore it. So it's not the same as a default where they just snub their nose and ignore it. She was trying to do something called, you know how attorneys love these Latin terms, impauperous, or basically saying I'm a pauper. I'm not, I can't afford it. So anyway, what's the issue? I mean, we can't, you know, second guess that judge.
So then she ended up, I guess, paying it. I don't know. They were supposed to call me on the 12th, but they didn't. So then I left a message on the 12th, and then they got back to me this Monday. And what they told me this Monday is now I have to track her down. They gave me a whole list of pretrial dates and trial dates. They said I have to track her down, and she has to agree to one of these dates. And I said, well, what happens if she doesn't? They said, give us a call back. You have till the 16th. But she's not going to do that. She is not going to agree to one of those dates. The number that she gave us on the paperwork that she gave the courts is a Google number. It's not even like her real number. And she's avoided, like I said, my private detectives. I've gone through 3 private detectives.
Tammy, this is not unusual to require notice to the other party and coordination. It's not unusual. It's a pain in the ass.
It's not notice. No, it's not notice. I have to get a hold of her.
And then coordinate a time? That does sound strange. Yes. That does sound strange, seriously.
I thought that was the court's job, and I thought that's why she needed to show up on the 25th.
I kind of agree with you.
But I don't know everything in my,
all right,
you know,
so
I don't even know what to do.
The judge actually said that you have to coordinate with this person.
Yes. And they said
if
I don't get it done by the 16th, they will dismiss my case. And I've spent so much money and so much time and so much.
If you have her served, if you have her served, it's not good enough.
Well, I did have her served. That was just to get the paperwork. Now I have to either go to her house. Well, I have to go to her house because her number isn't a real number.
I've never heard of such a thing. No. We need to hold on. Just wait. We need to talk to an attorney who's familiar with the judicial process, okay? Because this has nothing to do with your case. This has to do with process. And I would like just an overall attorney who goes to court, Suzanne, who might be able to answer process. Maybe Marco? I don't know. Let's just call somebody. And if not, John, maybe one of the Johns. Let's just figure it out. Let's figure it out. There must be something that we are not hearing. Okay, back to Aaron. Okay, Aaron, I know you're going to run out of time, but I promise you I'll take you first up. So listen, let's get right to the problem. You financed the car with the intent of paying it off right away. What happened?
So they told me to fill out the credit application that would hold the car and they wouldn't sell it.
And did they? Did they sell it to someone else?
Yep.
We have to figure out if you had a contract or not, and if so, if they had an out. Do you have the paperwork that you signed?
No, I just filled out a one-page credit app.
At first blush, I'm just going to say this, Aaron. At first blush, I don't think you had a contract to buy. Now, did they tell you and lie to you? Possibly, but how do you prove that? If you want to discuss it, just hang on and I'll take you first up. Did not have a contract to buy.
Did you know people mistakenly?
I'm starting to think Tammy
It was
kicked
verbal.
the district court. Because they do have a lot of rules in district court that don't make sense.
What is a waiver? She's suing for $15,000. What's the?
Oh, that's county then.
Okay.
Okay, that's county. That's the venue and
So
county.
anything above 15, it goes to
District,
okay.
yeah, and you can't do it yourself. Mark and I watched that happen. Although I guess I got lucky years ago when I did it.
That woman got just beat over the head with a bat.
Yeah.
Aaron didn't sign anything, and they even said it's their policy not to hold cars. That's they told him afterwards.
Did you sign a buyer?
Yes.
Jay, do you know how many small planes are going to be grounded at the end of this year if they don't get 2020 compliant, it's called? For 10 years we've known this, right? Hasn't it been out for 10 years or more?
What's that? Oh, that
ADSB out.
ADSB, yeah.
They're doing away with basically radar, except as a backup. So their theory is every plane will broadcast where it is. So if every plane broadcasts where it is, then everyone everywhere will see everything, even out of radar range. You might be out in the middle of the country where no radar range, but you'll see planes because they'll be broadcasted to you. They're lat long and altitude, and you'll see it on a screen, and you'll be broadcasting yours. And then centers will send out ADSB, weather, reports, everything. Everything will be done ADSB. It will not be done on radar or communications. So that's the theory. Think how many planes. You must have an ADSB out transmitter, meaning you must have something in your plane that tells everyone else on that channel where you are and how high you are and who you are. So you can't just have something that generates a signal. It has to have your N number on it. Think about that. Croc dusters, it doesn't matter who they are. They better have it.
How much does it cost to retro a plane?
Well, that's the wonderful thing about technology. It used to be a minimum of $6,000. Now they're coming up with new solutions. But I found something that is so fucking remarkable for the air coupe that I couldn't, because that little air coupe, what am I gonna? I'm not spending that much
Can you
money.
have a portable one?
They don't make them. But you can't have a portable one is the answer. No, you can't.
It has to be fixed
Installed,
in the plane.
Now, why I don't know. Because a portable, I bet you they have the technology to do it.
Yeah.
They would have the technology.
They never had a portable
I'm going to see.
transponder.
They had portable ADSB in, like to receive that signal. That's a good point, though.
I think it's more like a transponder. It was never portable. The transponder.
And it can't be.
But a lot of planes just don't have the room to retro it, do they?
Well, listen.
Yeah.
Here's what they did. This is the most amazing thing. Picture a tail light on the little tail light in the back. 2 screws. Every airplane has, or a wing light. You know, one of the wing lights. This company came up with a tail light with a solid state GPS. Here's what happens. It has a transmitter and a receiver. It receives GPS. It says where you are and transmits it out. And you have an app from your phone that you plug into that one. That one has a specific ID, so you talk to it. Just like we program other things, our speaker systems and stuff now with our phones, you tell it your airplane N number. And it's got 2 wires, that's it. Boom, you take the old one out, put that one in, done.
And it's already getting electricity because that light's always on whenever the plane's on.
Well, no,
right?
it's not. It has to be. That's one of the things. We didn't used to have them on all the time. You know, nav lights were only on when you
I thought you always had to have your nav light on.
No, strobe or beacon. A strobe or beacon, but not nav lights.
With LED people do now because the LED didn't take any.
But here's the deal. Think about it. Think about that. How fucking cool. It was $1,900, but
and that'll pass the requirement.
Yep.
So can you imagine even if you wait till the last minute and you retro your plane, the inspectors, it's going to take a month. They're going to get backed up.
Well, it's like an annual. You know, if you don't do an annual, I mean, you could probably fly, but man, they'll see you on the transponder and say, where's your ADSB? I mean, they'll take your N number. You'll be fined. I mean, you got to talk to them eventually to land. If you're in a little country airport somewhere, I don't know. But on my glass cockpit, the CTLS, all I needed to change out was the GPS antenna. It already has a glass cockpit, and that GPS antenna basically is now not just an antenna, it's a transmitter. So all it does is it takes from my transponder and sends it out. So that was easy. That was only $600, but that's because the plane has all of those avionics. But the Air Cooper's
Did you put that in, or did you have to pay somebody?
I did it all.
Do you keep the transponder when you do the tail light thing? Do you keep your transponder?
Yeah. Because it talks to the it reads what your transponder is squawking. So if your transponder is set to 1200, it repeats. Okay. But it only repeats. I don't know how it does, but it picks up your transponder and it repeats.
The ADSD or whatever, I thought they were replacing the transponder with that unit normally, right?
Well, that's the way ideally it is.
Yeah.
You put in a transponder, and that transponder has everything in it.
Yeah.
But who's going to do that? I mean, that's again $4,000.
Yeah. Real quick.
We'd rather not do that, right? I mean, I got a tail light, and there was no wiring. Even with a transponder, even if you got to rewire the whole.
You know, there was an article in Kit Planes about somewhere in Europe or somewhere had already done this.
Done what?
Somewhere had already done was the ADSD thing that we're doing. Something similar to that.
You mean well, it's worldwide.
Yeah.
The 2020 compliancy is worldwide.
Anyway, there was so much clutter of stuff on there that they said mid-air collisions weren't going to be reduced because there was so much junk all the time.
You know, here's the deal. I'll believe it when I see it, but I want to see ADSB portable. Portable, because portable ADSB -B out. I don't think they have portable.
I haven't heard of it. But
that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I've got two planes. Both are. I'm going to do
this says it is. There are some that say they're portable. I got to see what they're talking about. Then there you take that with. How could they though? Yeah. I don't see it. Portable ADSB.
It would be like a cell phone, or maybe like an external hard drive or something like that.
But if you think about it,
plug in.
I don't know. This article I was reading though said that there's so much clutter on the screen. If you have the in coming in, there's so much clutter on the screen. It's showing every airplane, you know, when they're taxiing on the ground, everything. That you don't. The whole point of collision avoidance just goes away because there's so much junk. You ignore it.
Yep.
You're constantly turning the arms off.
Do you know how many things you can pay attention to at one time?
Yeah. Me, one.
Do you know, Tom?
There is a number.
It's 7. And they came up with it in aviation. And so all cockpits are designed around that. We're not going to give somebody more than 7 things.
There's just, I don't actually see one. When you Google it, they say there are, but you don't see it. Look for it. Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK is our number. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live all over the place. Radio affiliates and online and broadband. Just find us, Troubleshooter. Referral list. Facebook, YouTube. And listen, we have guests from the referral list on all the time. We have Jay Bretz with us from Excel Roofing. We're talking about an attic fan that can actually keep your attic cooler, which will help your entire house no matter what. In every home I purchased, Jay goes up and says, okay, let's drop one in, or he checks out the venting. If you have poor venting in your attic, does this make up for it? Or do you have to still punch more? If you don't have enough soffit vents to pull fresh air in, you might have to punch a few.
Absolutely, Tom. You need air inlet and air outlet. Ideally, if you're not using a fan.
Would this satisfy your air outlet?
Yes, it would.
Okay.
In most times. Normally, you want 50% of the vents below, 50% above, if you're just relying on Mother Nature to put wind through the attic.
Now, Suzanne, for the life of me now, I can't figure out... we want to figure out an attorney for Tammy.
I'm reaching out to a few, Tom.
We just want to know about court procedure, because she was told something really crazy by the judge, that she has to coordinate. Now, I believe coordination and scheduling is something that is done among attorneys all the time, but I've never heard of making a plaintiff do it. And then Aaron, he bought a car. Here's the bottom line. He thought he bought a car. He found it. He wanted to finance it because it takes a few days to make his cash transfer. And then he was going to pay it off. I would assume he filled out the application and then went and transferred the money, so they were concurrently working together. But then he said the car was sold out from under him. The question is, did he have a contract to buy that car? I would say probably not, but who knows? Aaron, I have a quick question for you. How much time elapsed from the signature on that financial app, the signature, to the sale of to someone else?
Less than 48 hours.
Okay. So as soon as you signed that app for that car, you didn't find out if you were approved or not, right?
I was approved. They called me the next day, the next morning, and said I was approved for financing, told me the final amount with all the taxes and fees, told me my interest rate, told me my monthly payment. I told them that was on Friday. I said, I'll call you on Monday to let you know what day we're going to come pick up the car. I called them yesterday. They said that they sold it.
Yeah, and I think that was probably fine. Because let's say you had found another car. Let's just, and really be honest here, and the other car was an extraordinary deal. Would you feel like you obligated yourself to that car where you couldn't get out of it? You signed no contract at all to buy it.
I wouldn't have been looking for another car because I thought I had purchased the other one.
I understand. But I'm asking you if you felt obligated to buy that car. Let's say that you found,
because I was approved for financing.
Yeah, but you didn't have a contract to buy the car. I mean, I don't think we need to argue about it. You didn't, but you don't have a purchase contract. I mean, it's that simple. You didn't have and the purchase contract wasn't signed by you or by them. You know, go to finance. You go to apply for a mortgage. You're not first in line for that house. You're just not. I mean, and besides, they actually, I know you don't want to hear this, Aaron, they really did you a favor. I swear to God they did. I mean, it's the universe telling you, don't buy it. Really. So I don't know what you're trying to accomplish, but man, it's the worst you can do.
I'm not concerned about myself. I've moved on and started looking elsewhere.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for? An Audi still?
You know, something with the third row, Toyota Highlander or an Audi Q7, you know, Ford Explorer, GMC Acadia, those kinds of things where it's a smaller SUV, but it still has a third row because we're limited in the space that we can fit it.
So who has the third row SUV, good quality and good retail? Now, the worst used car values are the best new car values, and vice versa. The worst new car values are the best used car values, providing they're all quality. Let's not, you know, let's take that out of the equation, that they're good cars. For example, the American cars are less of a new car value because they don't hold their value as much, but they make excellent used cars because of that, if you get them in good shape. As far as that, I think that you didn't buy it. I can't believe anybody would ever think they did, but he just wanted an opinion, and that was our opinion. Renee, what's going on with you?
Hi.
What's going on, Renee?
Okay, so last night I parked in a handicapped parking spot, and my car was towed.
Okay, and
my question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My question is to you. The parking spot next to me was clearly handicapped. It was marked. It had a pole, and it was painted on the bottom. The one I parked in didn't have a pole, and late at night, I didn't notice that it was painted on the bottom.
So you truly didn't know?
I didn't know. I did look for the sign.
If you take a photograph and go to a parking referee, they will many times waive it if you have a logical argument. I mean, you know, really they do, but not automatically.
Right. I looked for the sign. I didn't see it, and I parked it. They towed it. I already went and picked up my car. I just don't want it to happen to me again. You know,
Now wait a minute. So you're telling me there was a pole and a sign in front of one, but not the other?
Right. The one next to me. The one next to me was clearly marked perfectly.
No, I understand.
Brand new everything.
I understand, and they often do that where one will be non-handicapped and one is handicapped. But was the ground marked?
The ground was marked, but at nighttime I didn't see it. You know.
Yeah. That's tough, man. I don't know what they're required to have. I really don't. Have you looked into it, Mark? Do you know what they're required to have for handicapped? I don't know.
I think we'd have to have the sign, because what if there was snow on the ground?
You know, you would think so. That's, you know, it was towed, which is really bad. Now, was this a private lot?
Yeah, it was an apartment building that my girlfriend lives in.
Okay. Well, you see, parking, this is the thing about apartment buildings. They get a kickback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. So
I know in Florida, if it doesn't have a sign over 6 inches above the ground, and
no, I'm looking at requirements. There are requirements. Yeah. I don't know what they are. What city or county were you in?
I'm in Colorado Springs.
Okay. Why don't you simply ask Colorado Springs what the requirement is for a handicapped spot? If they don't meet the requirement, I would sue the apartment complex directly. I would sue them for the expenses in small claims court. But call Colorado Springs and just ask them if a handicapped spot is there, how is it supposed to be marked? I mean, ask them to actually really tell you, so they're not just shining you off. It sounds to me like it was not adequately marked. It sounds like it, and you might have a good shot at it. We're trying to get a hold of an attorney. We have to let Tammy go on that one until we can. Tammy simply wants to know, why is scheduling left to her with an adversary? But scheduling always is left to the sides to get together. Now remember, this is not the initial service. See, that's where I was mistaken. She already served, and now they have to go to court. But in order to go to court, she must coordinate. It's called scheduling. Attorneys do that all the time with each other. She is saying she doesn't know how. She can't get a hold of this person to schedule. And really, if you think about it, when there aren't attorneys involved, with offices and established numbers, how do you schedule with someone that doesn't want to schedule? What happens? I mean, that's a good question. If they told you you had to schedule with Jim Ross, I mean, what do?
Remember, she's asking, she is going to be the attorney.
Yeah.
So there is no attorney.
That's what I mean. But what do you do? What do you do?
I think the judge told her.
I know.
So this is fixed.
The judge is beating on her.
They're stuck.
Yeah, sounds like it.
She should go back down to...
GMC Acadia is half of what the Audi is.
Yeah, that GMC is a good vehicle.
I know, that Acadia...
The GMC Acadia is half the
of
cost.
what that Audi Q7 is.
Plus the maintenance is going to be half.
Yeah, you're right.
And these days, that GMC is going to last just as long as...
But it won't give him the...
status.
Poser. He's not a
he thinks the
poser.
status. The poser, that's exactly what it is. These Audis, people... But the bigger piece of shit is the Range Rover. That
He
is...
hates us.
Well,
I don't like them. They're overpriced.
They're pieces of shit. Ask any mechanic.
Yeah.
They are.
They're right with the Jeep. Consumer.
Yeah.
Fix It 24/7. That name says it all. They will fix it 24/7. All you have to do is call them 720-526-3939. Now, it's always better if you call during normal business hours, and you'll get really superb service, parts, and guarantees. I love the $39 predictable charge for finding any problem, no matter how long it takes. I have used them. You know, where I have something and I don't want to mess with it. You know you won't pay more than $39 to get a licensed tech to your home, and then they quote you a price with a guarantee up front before any work begins. And the hard part often is finding the problem. So even if you don't have the work done, you've accomplished for $39 something very important. If you have the work done, they credit you the $39, and you'll never have comparable service, parts, and value as you do with Fix It 24/7. I'm speaking firsthand. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939.
Hey, that's us.
My dad's
we
on
should
a
have
second
caught
Escalade.
that.
But my dad's on a second Escalade. He's put over 200,000 miles on. Never had anything had to go wrong.
An Escalade?
Yeah. My wife's Mercedes now got 63,000 miles on it. It's the third thing that's gone wrong that's been over $3,000.
And so is the Escalade the Suburban?
The short, yeah. Well, they make the Escalade in the long, the Tahoe, basically.
Those are good.
But they make the Escalade in the long, short. The XL is the Suburban one.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, they're good.
You
love the Avalanche. I think they made an Escalade. They made an Escalade Avalanche.
You know, this is 2005.
I
those
love the
cars that are 2005. The leather is cracked.
I wish that Mercedes made a G-Wagon like an Avalanche.
Like a what?
Like an Avalanche, a G-Wagon. Wouldn't that be cool?
It would be.
With the G-Wagon body, that would be a cool little car.
You know what? Jeep has come out with one now. They brought their pickup back. They look funky to me.
I love those. I used to love them.
It's a double cab Jeep.
What were they called? I loved them. I absolutely loved them.
Scrambler had a pickup.
Cherokee or something like that, or it was a
Scrambler.
You mean Rambler?
Scrambler. Jeep Scrambler.
Oh, Scrambler.
Yeah, if you look it up,
I don't think that was the name of it, though.
They've come back.
Your neighbor has one.
No, it was something else.
Look it up.
No,
Scrambler.
well, there might have been one of those, but that wasn't the main one. Scrambler.
Yeah.
Let's see.
To pick up Jeep.
Yep, that's one. There was another one though.
Yeah.
Jeep pickup. Let me see. Jeep.
Oh yeah. That was a real pickup, not the.
Yes.
Yeah, it had the separate bed. The Scrambler, the bed's part of
Jeep,
the.
and I loved them. But man, were they expensive.
They're pretty rare.
It's black. I'm telling you.
The Gladiator?
Oh, hey, man.
Is Raleigh House coming up or nothing?
Oh, cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so the Jeep pickup, what is it? It was called something.
It's a Scrambler, isn't it? If you Google 2019.
Tom's talking about.
No,
the older
one. So when I pick up the
bed was separate, like a pickup cab and a bed.
The older one.
No. See how the bed's part of it? The older ones had the bed was separate.
Damn, there was an older one.
Yeah.
Jeep.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Gladiator.
When I drop my wife
Jeep
off,
pickup truck.
the other one up. You guys can run with that, right?
Oh, there it is. Let's see the old one. It was called.
You know, no, I'll do
Was
that
it
as soon as I
Wrangler?
talk
No. It was this one, whatever it's called. No, that's.
Wrangler.
These are the ones I'm talking about. What are they called? Hard to find. They're calling them Gladiators.
That's the new ones they're coming out with.
Yeah, but they say that. Okay, here's Jeep pickup history. This will tell you right here.
Yeah, the neighbor that's got the
Not that one.
has one of those too. God, they were ugly.
Wrangler.
There's a history here.
The Comanche?
Yes, the Comanche. That's what it was.
I said Cherokee. You're right, Comanche.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. Let's go to the phones. Renee, Renee is saying the place, the spot was not marked correctly, and he needs to go and find out what the law is, and then fight it based on that for reimbursement, but he goes after the apartment complex, not the tow company. A question, Jay, if something is not up to code with roofing, are you required to bring it up to code if you're not replacing the entire roof? Somebody wants to know.
It depends.
If it's just a repair and not a replacement.
It depends on how big the repair is. If the repair is half of the roof, then yes, you would have to bring it up to code. If it's just a small area on the roof, then normally no, you're not going to have to. And then also, but that brings up a great point. It's what they call law and ordinance or upgrade.
Now that's insurance issue.
That's insurance, and that's a very, very cheap add-on to your insurance that everybody should have. That way, if you have any kind of claim, what they're going to do when they do the replacement cost is they're going to bring everything up to code. So that it's called.
And not everyone has that coverage.
No, they don't, and everybody should make sure they do because it costs less than 0.5% of what your total premium is.
Okay, what's going on, Robert? This sounds a lot like a scam to me.
I think it is. I'm sure it is. My friend Tim received a call from the Social Security office I think it even said Social Security on his caller ID on his cell phone. And they said he owed $29,400 or he'd be arrested and taken to jail.
Yeah.
They said they had
Wait. He didn't fall for this, did he?
Yes, he did.
Oh my God, wait a minute. How old is this guy?
70 years old. He's with it. He's working. I can't believe he's...
No, hold on. He sent $29,400
in gift cards.
Oh my!
Target and Home Depot.
So wait a minute. This guy, $29,400 in gift cards to Home Depot and Target, and he thought he was sending it to the IRS or to the Social Security. Did he think it was strange that Social Security wanted gift cards?
Yes, and that still didn't stop him. He said he was scared.
Oh my God! Now we ask, can you believe people fall for this? We got yet another one. They do fall for it. That's why they keep doing it. Every now and then they get a pigeon. When did they call him? When did he do this?
I think this was last week. He told me about it last Thursday or Friday. I was trying to call you about it before, but didn't have a chance.
Does he have the receipts for these gift cards? Is there any way they can stop them?
See, I don't know. Did he tell them the gift card serial numbers?
Yes.
Because they wouldn't want actual gift cards, would they?
No. They ask you to scratch it and then tell you the number. But I'm wondering if he claims they were lost or stolen, what happens with a gift card? You know, oh my God, does he realize he was ripped off, or does he still think he saved himself?
Yes,
Why do people think Social Security is going to arrest you? But
why
first
do you
of all,
think they're going to call them on the telephone?
Well, first of all, what did they say he did? Why did he have such a guilty conscience? What did they say he did?
I don't understand. He indicated to me that somebody was using his Social Security number to commit crime. And it's not him.
Then why would he have to pay? First of all, that never happened. But why would he think it happened?
See, he was afraid of being arrested and taken to jail.
But why
I guess he was going to try to figure things out later. He would clear things out later. Just pay the fine now, and whatever needs to be done is done, and then
is he rich?
The fine back.
Is he rich?
No.
Well, you know,
I think that was.
I don't think there's any way, unless there is some mechanism for lost or stolen with a gift card. Start by calling. I want to know this, does he have a record of the cards that he bought?
I have no idea.
Well, find out. Let's find out.
I'll try to find out.
I mean, like each and every card, if he still has them, maybe we can contact Target or somebody and say, stop it. Weren't we able to do that? Suzanne, it was either Suzanne, somebody. We had iTunes cards.
Walgreens, we didn't.
I thought iTunes.
Too late.
It was. But, man, does this break your heart? This guy just blew $29,000. Where did he buy all these cards? Why doesn't anyone... I mean, if they see a guy pick all these cards up, what denominations were they? Did he say?
He didn't say. I didn't get into the details. I said, why didn't you call me?
I would love to call. I want to talk. I want to talk to him. I really do. I want to learn more about the scam. Maybe we can help him, but we need to talk to him. Will he talk about this, or is he embarrassed?
He's probably so embarrassed about it he won't, but I'll ask him to call you.
Oh, this is terrible. I mean,
he has a checking account. I said, why didn't you send
Is he married?
$29,000? No, single, 70 years old.
What does he do for a living?
He parks cars at a car wholesaler lot.
Is he slow?
But no, not at all. That's what gets me, is he's sharp.
No, he's not.
He falls for something like this.
Yeah, I mean, he's not smart at all. No, seriously. I mean, I'm not making fun of him, but that's not smart.
Tom, how was he paying for these? Was it with a credit card or directly out of his checking account? Because doesn't that usually...
Out of his, he put money from his savings account into his checking account, and then I think paid for it through the checking account. I said, why wouldn't you use a check to pay the fine if that were, you know, why would they want, what government entity would want gift cards from anyone instead of a check?
Oh, my God.
On the check.
Oh, man. Listen, please call right now. Suzanne's going to give you how you get back in touch with us. Let's take first things first. Let's find out if he has the cards, the actual cards, since he didn't mail them or whatever. I need to know that. Then we need to figure out what we say. If they're lost or stolen, how you get money back. It seems to me if you buy a money order and you lose it, do you get money back? What about a gift card? They have numbers on them. What if somebody stole your gift card? Is there any kind of way to protect yourself? We need to find this out. This is terrible, but like Mark said, you can't cure stupid. This is terrible. And no matter how we look at it, he's stupid. Tammy, let's talk.
I'm here.
We have Mark Kranak, who's an attorney on our referral list. We've known him for years. I just want to talk to him about process. All right, that's it basically. And let's see. Now, Mark, this is an odd situation, and normally if you have an attorney, this doesn't come up. But after you serve someone, you go to court, and then they answered with a letter saying, you know, we couldn't make it or whatever. The judge, as I believe now, said, Tammy, the judge said that you have to do a scheduling conference with the defendant. Is that right?
Yes. I have till the 16th of next month. I'm assuming it's next month.
And you have to come up with a time that works for all of you to go to trial. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
And she has to agree to it.
Right.
If she doesn't, then I have to call them back.
Now, Mark, this is weird because normally attorneys, as I say, they have offices and phone numbers, and they don't stonewall each other. And if there's a lawsuit going on, you call and schedule with the other attorney. Isn't that right?
Well, yeah, it's a little more formalistic than that, Tom. So, for example, in district court, where if you commence a civil action, the procedural rules require you to confer with your opposing counsel really up front, like out of the gate.
But where? Where? Does it say where and when? Does it say where and when?
Well, it's pretty specific. It's beyond the scope of this radio spot, but it's fairly specific about what things you have to confer about. But the point is, the order.
This is county court.
Transmuted into an order, the agreement to counsel.
This is county court.
That's important deadlines for things like how long discovery will go on. When's the trial scheduled?
Mark, this is county court. So now, in county court, Tammy is told to get together with the defendant. But now put yourself in a consumer's shoes. If Tammy's adversary wants to just ignore this and put it off, there's nothing that Tammy can do to force it. I mean, with an attorney,
I disagree with that. First of all, in my opinion, my objective opinion is the judge telling a party to the case, hey, look, confer with the other side and come up with a trial date. That's a reasonable request for a judge to make. They do that all the time.
Right.
So here's what you do. You get with the other side and first call the court system, find out what dates are available. Then you get with the other side and you say, okay, I want to do it on this date, the trial or whatever they want you to do.
Yeah, but they won't. The other party won't even talk to Tammy. The other party.
Well, then what you have to do is you have to take it up with the judge at that point. So, I mean, if they won't cooperate in simply conferring with you, well, then what you do is you file a motion with the court and you say, hey, look, I tried to follow the court's order, but they won't cooperate. And the judge should intervene at that point.
And he could do a court order to appear, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, Tammy,
yes,
I think Mark's right. I mean, there's no way a judge is just going to let somebody slither out of it.
What I was thinking is I could make her give an answer by not making a choice at all. I was going to try to send her a certified letter to the address she provided to the courts, which she may or may not be at, because like I said, the phone number is just a Google number. It's not her real number.
You call her and you write to her. And as Mark said, you call and write. And then you say, Your Honor, she has not gotten back with me. There's no way I can get a hold of her. She's refusing to talk to me or whatever it is. And then let the judge worry about it. He can't simply discharge the case or dismiss the case, because of it.
I think that's right.
Okay,
Tom.
good.
And a
That's
key
what
thing
they
here
told
is
me they were going to
you
do.
want to document what you're doing in terms of your efforts to schedule this.
That's
whatever it is.
That's what it is, Mark. You see, Tammy, he was saying he's going to cancel it if you don't make an effort. You have to make an effort and document each and every one, like the phone calls. Even I'm telling you, you keep track of when you called and what you said, and wait for a response and a certified letter to her last known address. All of that, and then as Kranak says, you go before the judge and say, despite my best efforts, I've got no response. He may do an order to appear that you have served on her, and then order you to do scheduling in front of him. We have more coming up.
There's a number to call for Home Depot to cancel credit card or gift cards, but if it's already been used,
you know what?
That's so sad.
I bet those places request those gift cards.
Oh, hey, Eric, what's up?
Use them immediately.
We have a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Immediately.
Oh, we are.
It doesn't matter. We don't have anything time specific, but I will record it. Yeah, I will do it. I will make a note of Raleigh House.
There's a reason they want those cards, and I think it's because you can't come back on it.
They're not traceable.
I'm sure it won't have popped over, right?
Well,
we're doing iTunes cards.
Yeah, we're doing iTunes. My God, do you get those calls about that Social Security thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I get them a couple times a week.
I was getting them last week, and I blocked the number, and they kept.
No, they do a new number.
As soon as that foundation's up and it's ready to
do a
go,
new
and I
number.
was going to call you, man. He wants you there if possible, or either by Skype or something.
Okay, guys, Mike's going on. Addiction is a terrible thing. It affects families and circles of friends. It destroys friendships and relationships. The RaleighHouse.com wants to help you out. The Raleigh House was founded right here in Colorado. And here's what they do. They have several centers around the metro area, including a rural setting for equine therapy and pet therapy. They have creative ways to treat addiction. But first, they know you need information, all kinds of information. So they're making themselves available to answer any question you have on addiction with no obligation and in complete confidentiality. Just call this number, 720-730-9722. I mean, what does insurance pay? What does it cost? What treatments are available? How do I approach an addict? Any and all questions. 720-730-9722. TheRaleighHouse.com.
By kissing expensive ink cartridges. Goodbye! Goodbye, ink cartridges.
They're there. I got 2 of them on Friday, last Friday.
The most inconvenient times. I have a better solution.
One's from Russia.
What's that, Mark? I mean,
one of them says right on it's from Russia.
What's from Russia?
Those scam calls. The call says Russia.
I get those all the time.
I do too. I can't believe.
Fewer trips to the store, less frustrations for you. Add the compact EcoTank printer to your
They're
best.
so screwy. You wouldn't think anybody'd fall.
And chill. Check out Epson.
That's why they're doing them.
EcoTank Leo to learn more. And now through September 30th, get free overnight shipping when you use the promo code EcoTank Leo at checkout for any EcoTank printer offer valid within the 48 contiguous states. Exclusions.
I hear these hydration bars are bullshit because the benefits last a day and the other shit you pee out.
You don't have to
They put an IV in you or something?
Yeah.
EcoTank Leo.
Okay.
Ideal home loans for your
That's
next
what they
ideal
say.
home loan. You've heard me say that before because
Yeah, you're right. They use those cards right away.
you.
Once these 2 calls I got from them last week. Whoops.
See, I don't get any from them.
If you're
What are you from where?
I don't know why. But if I
Now look at where one came from.
Russia,
And the other one,
I would never answer one from Russia.
the other one. They both look at the other one.
Look at the number.
I know.
124. Holy cow.
There's no area code in it. It's just a bunch of numbers. One of them had a bunch of numbers. The other one's Russia, but
refinance or you purchase.
No, if I answer and nobody says hello right away.
yeah, you know it's a robocall. When I was running for office, we had a robocall machine.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, how many
No,
people
you know that it's legal for political and
Yeah.
charities
to use
have
them.
that on the, they can't blow the do not call.
Yeah, we had one go, and I'm sure we pissed off most people. I don't know if it did any good at all.
Works on a
It's
contingency
doing,
basis.
Whether you or a loved one has been injured
What
in
did
a
it say?
serious
Press
car
1
accident
if
or
you're
by
gonna
an
vote for
act of
Clint.
gross negligence,
Right.
Denver Trial Lawyers can help.
Spider bite.
Visit DenverTrialLawyers.com.
Anyway,
That's DenverTrialLawyers.com.
the way they it works is this one look for the word hello. If they answered with any other thing, it wouldn't pick it up.
Oh, really?
It was an older one. I don't know the different place.
Is this George?
I
Press 1 if you're George.
I answer, this is Clint, and a lot of times when I say this is Clint instead of hello, it kicks out a lot of those.
I just.
Well, if you got that gap in there, you know it's a robot.
No, I say this is Dan. That's what I say.
That'll help. Yeah, that'll help a lot. Because a lot of those machines are.
But they always, it's just a little gap, and then if they start talking, like right away, I say, well, no.
Jay,
Thanks for calling.
last week when I got those 2 calls, there was one of them.
205?
Yeah, but look where it's from.
From Russia?
Yeah, and then look at the other
I think
calls.
that sounds legitimate.
Those are both those Social Security calls.
1, 2, 4.
Yeah, it doesn't even have any breaks in it. I don't even know what it is.
Ace
It
Hardwood
could
Floor
be.
Summer Sale is
Who
going
knows?
on now with up to 60%
Who
off.
knows?
Visit
But I thought that was weird. It was
acehardwoods.com.
Russia.
630 K-How, an iHeart radio
I
station.
gotta get those constantly.
I taught my kids all the lyrics to the song. I taught my kids the lyrics, Dan.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Let's go to the phones. We have some lines open at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, Sam was denied an unsecured loan. That's not unusual. Unsecured loans are very difficult to get. The only unsecured loans that I know that are freely available are credit cards, which are, in essence, loans. What's going on, Sam?
Yes, sir. Hi, Sam. Thanks for
Tom.
Mr. Martino. Thanks for taking.
What's happening?
So, very absurd thing, Mr. Martino. So I went to a bank, a major bank, $44,000 unsecured loan. I know my credit worthiness, my income, and so forth. And in fact,
what is your credit? Just roughly, do you know what your FICO is?
My highest is 830, mid is 760. I mean, they do fluctuate.
All right.
So here's the worst part, Mr. Martino. I work in banking industry. I've been a bank manager for over 14 years. I know how the underwriting works. So long story short, they didn't decline me based off of my creditworthiness or my income and so forth. They just simply said, you are declined because you're high risk for money laundering, and that's the bank's.
Wait a minute. They actually put that down as a reason?
So Mr. Martino, it gets interesting.
And by the way, Sam, you can call me Your Highness. No, you can call me Tom. Listen,
okay.
on the deal though, you got a denial letter. Did it really say that you're denied because you're a high risk for money laundering?
So I'm waiting for the letter. What I was able to obtain, because I know people in that bank too.
Yeah.
So what they were able to do is send me a snapshot of their internal decision screen.
Yes.
It basically said I'm a high risk for AML, anti-money laundering, and that's Bank Secrecy Act. Now,
for anti-money laundering?
Correct. That's AML. That's part of Bank Secrecy Act.
But anti-money laundering is you're not laundering. I don't get it.
So apparently my name is on money laundering list. I don't know how it got here.
I get it. So your name, is it an unusual name?
It's not. It's pretty common name. But here's the deal.
Are you born? I just need to know. Are you an American citizen?
For the last 20 years.
Okay, where are you from? Is it a country that we've been targeting or watching on a watch list?
It's not on OSHA list. No.
What country are you from?
Pakistan.
I wouldn't loan you either. I'm just kidding. Sam, listen. This is terrible, though. No, because you're not supposed to. When I said, is it a country we're watching? We're really not supposed to, technically, have it out for any particular country or religion. And a lot of people, this is where a lot of people accuse Trump of being very, very, racist and hate monger by targeting countries. And profiling and all of that. We're not supposed to be doing that anyway, but there are lists, by the way, for people, watch lists. And if you're on it, it could be that there's someone similar to you. I don't know. I mean, it's very shocking. You believe you're turned down because you're from Pakistan. Let's just say it. Is that what you think?
You know, I can say that, but what more troubling to me, Tom, is I work in this industry for the last 15 years. I still am a bank manager for a major bank. In fact, I have managed that bank as well for about 2 years.
Did you apply at your own bank? Did you apply at your own?
I did not go through them. I have different relations with different credit unions. It just so happened their interest rate was more attractive than my own bank. So I went to another credit union. They approved me on the spot. So getting a loan wasn't an issue. What's troubling for me is I work in the industry, and for a major financial corporation to either assume that I'm a money launderer or I'm about to money launder money, and based off of that, decline my loan application, which otherwise I would have get approved with no problem because I've got great credit score, great income, great track record,
This
everything.
is so weird.
It's the first one. And, you know, I've lost sleep over it because this is my bread and butter. I work in a financial
What are you going to use the money for?
So it was a simple debt consolidation loan. My wife and I, we did the joint application. It's a temporary thing. We'll take care of it later on. I mean, I went to Belco afterwards.
Do you have enough to do an equity line? I'm just curious.
I've already got the equity line done with Belco. They're just in the process of just, you know, gathering all this stuff together. So the loan is all good. I mean, I'm not worried about it because I have a relationship with Bank of America, with a couple other banks. I mean, I'm a pretty responsible person, you know, always paid my bills on time, held one job for a very long time. So what's not settling well with me, Tom, is right now I work in a bank and thinking another financial institution thinks that I have done money laundering or I will do money laundering.
I understand what you're saying. I know. This sounds really suspect. I don't know what I would do. I mean, I would just talk to the bank. Mark, what do you think? I mean, he saw a screen. Do you have a picture of that screen you can send to us?
Absolutely. It's in my text.
This is weird. Saying that you are a money launderer or you're suspected or a high risk. Are you on a no-fly list?
No, I'm a pretty moral citizen. I pay my dues. I live like a moral citizen, and, you know, I don't do, I mean, other than traffic infraction, I don't have anything else.
Right.
I've got 2 MBAs. I mean, I'm fine.
God, this is
fine
weird.
Where I'm at.
This is weird. It's all. This is that Trump hatred we're hearing about. Just kidding. Listen,
I don't usually talk about that stuff.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, man. I think, by the way, we're making light of this, but this is pretty weird that they would. How do you suspect someone of laundering? I want to know, like, why? Do you have a lot of cash in and out of that account?
Every penny that I've always earned is through my bank account, which I held for the last 20 years. Everything is tax paid for.
I want to call the bank. I want to call the bank and say, how do you determine? No. Let's call a friend of ours who's in banking. Do we have one? I don't like bankers. Do we have any friends that are in banks or that used to be in banking?
I'm a banker, too.
Here's what I want to tell. I like you, except the fact you're from Pakistan. But here's what I'd like to do. I would like to put out the call to anyone in banking, seriously, to see if they know anything about this when they deny a loan. I would think, first of all, I think it's insane to even have that on their screen. When are you going to get a letter? That will really help us, too. When are you going to?
I'm waiting for that, Tom. I was declined about a week ago, so I'm waiting for the letter. And here's another thing. I managed that bank in 2015, and I left that bank in 2017.
What bank is it? What bank is it?
Key Bank.
Okay. And the bank you're at, you don't want to mention? We don't know your last name. You want to mention the institution you work?
Wells Fargo. I've been with Wells Fargo for over 13 years.
Well, Wells Fargo is international, isn't it? Or near international?
Why wouldn't you just borrow from them?
Because the rate was better on the other one. Maybe he didn't want his people knowing what he's doing anyway. I mean, you've never had a criminal record of any kind, right?
Any kind, none whatsoever. And I'm pretty proud of that.
You never made any big cash purchases where you had to fill out that form?
Everything is either cashier check or credit cards.
Okay, what we need to do is figure out someone in banking, if they could answer questions. Have they ever seen something like this that says you're suspected of money laundering? We're not going to loan you money? Seriously, I'd love for you to call. Or anything else you can call about if you have a problem, question, or complaint. We also have Jay Bretz from Excel Roofing. 303-713-TALK. Okay, I am finding this very puzzling and hateful. Thank you, Trump.
I think he's got a common name.
Thank you, Trump.
Another Sam out there.
Those unsecured loans.
Dan, what do you have to say about your hero, Mr. Trump, and all of this hate mongering?
Watch out for some emergency road work
Misunderstand.
along westbound I-70.
He's misunderstood.
He is misunderstood.
You know what the only thing could be, Tom? The only thing could be is he wants to control the news cycle.
He's a genius at that.
That's the only answer
Well, I don't
for
know
his
if he's a
latest
genius.
deal.
I don't know if he's a genius, but
I think the
do know
Dems were
that.
getting maybe a little too much attention or something like that, and he wanted the spotlight to be back on him, so he did something really outrageous. And boom, the entire news cycle is focusing on him again.
Mark is convinced that he knows exactly
Genius is doing this.
Yeah, you know he used to be his own press guy, right?
No, really?
Yeah, you call
Okay,
into
mic's
shows.
on.
Oh, I've heard that.
American Restoration, 24/7. If you are in trouble because of flood, fire, storm, mold, chemicals, or toxins, don't be victimized twice. In this field, there are many, many rip-offs. So please remember the name, American Restoration 24/7, for no-nonsense expertise. That's amrest247.com.
Your trade is?
I'm going to need all of them to put together.
I like your theory. I like your theory.
So
God, I'm building up a lot.
he used to call the radio stations. Have you ever heard this?
I know.
one?
Yeah. It's Howard Stern. He was always on Stern, wasn't he, Mark?
He just make up some name. Like
Stern, I thought, loved him. Does Stern still like him?
Yeah.
No.
And so he
Oh, he
talked all
does.
that
Stern
right
is turned
behind
pussy when it
himself.
comes
But it was really Trump. They did like these voice analysis of the tapes.
You know, do you agree with how his son-in-law did?
No, what happens is here's what happens. I swear to God, I have no idea. Everything
Yeah.
Stern did that made him the king of all media. Okay, he now basically
And they would
apologizes.
go to a county.
It's
For what?
fucking unbelievable.
What does he apologize for?
Oh, just when he would have naked women in.
Oh, because
Everything
of
that
Me Too
literally
movement.
built.
Oh no, he can't exploit women anymore. No fucking way.
No, it's beyond that though. It's like he just. I don't know.
No, I think he's trying to get on top of it so they don't start.
I think that's right. Because he would be ostracized forever. Mark, look at what people have been
What's wrong
ostracized.
with that?
Mark, look what people have been ostracized.
Yeah, but his is all done under comedy. It's like going after some comedian. Honestly, it is.
Look at what's his name, the senator. He did that under comedy where he went like this to that.
He used to have a world's record going for how many people could bang this girl in an hour. Don't you remember that? On the radio.
Things happen.
Yeah, we needed a business guy.
I mean, that is unbelievable.
For a long time.
How many was the record?
Yeah, what was the record?
I was number 16.
He had a masturbating on TV.
What's that?
He had a masturbating on TV.
On TV?
Yeah, on the show.
Who did?
Howard Stern.
Oh, Stern. Oh, God.
What do you
had
mean?
him riding. He like I said, I agree. He's trying to get on top of it.
I think the word you're looking for is, what is it called?
Get hookers come in all the time.
What the hell's the name of the
Studio.
The Sibian.
Yeah, listen to him at the
He used
top
to
of
have
his
it every Friday.
the top of his tongue, the Sibian.
We got a couple at home.
Not that I know.
It's in the garage. We're keeping it away from the kids.
It's a world famous sex machine. I've never seen one.
You got one Stern.
No, I just heard about it.
Stern.
He used to have one in studio.
Did he?
Yeah.
They did in public. There's these.
And
they just wanted to be on the show. That was
He was the ultimate shock jock.
right.
I got it.
He put the shock in jock.
Yeah.
But that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get.
Oh my God! Don't Google it.
Yeah,
Don't Google it on images. They actually sell them.
Yeah, some guy invented them. And
What do they go for?
Let's see. This one is on Amazon.
No way.
How about a used one on eBay?
It's on Amazon.
This is on Amazon. It's hot pink. It's fuchsia.
I wonder if you get a special because it's Prime Day.
You know, I'm not kidding you. It is $849 is one of them. Then there's one for $899. What they
We need it overnight.
Okay, this hot pink one, this pink with beige attachments.
With beige attached.
Oh my God, look at these pictures.
Here's 15 customer reviews.
Whoa.
We have a serious problem. I
Damn,
purchased
look at
this item to be used with my wife. I received it today and noticed that the box was retaped. I took it out, set it up. Everything looked used. My wife went to use it. It didn't work. Upon closer inspection, we noticed that the book had writing in it. This upsets us very much.
And it smelled like a big
And his
fish.
full name is there. Listen to what his name is. This has to be a joke. David Bates.
David Bates.
Master David Bates.
Yeah.
Then Daniel says wife likes it and she uses it sometime.
Sometimes.
One good storage unit.
But it's very
Only
fishy.
problem is the lock broke.
What's it called? Sibian.
So it just,
Would be better if the remote.
it's some kind of dildo with a,
Yeah. Automated.
Wife described it as incredibly intense. She won't touch me anymore.
Oh no.
Damn it!
Competition.
She calls it Charlie.
Lots of fun, worth the money.
I'm going to visit Charlie.
This is incredible. It's for real.
didn't they have one that was attached to like a reciprocating saw or something?
Like,
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Yes, truly, we would be off the air if you heard our discussions during the breaks, and they're quite disgusting, these guys. But 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. May I please, I got to get off my high horse here and get back to the microphone. If anyone in banking could help us, we're trying to figure out why someone would be suspected of money laundering where they can't get a loan. Tony, this I'm told is urgent. What's happening? Tony! Oh, no, man. This is terrible. It said it was urgent. He's deciding between surgery.
Tom, this sounds bad, but I have his number. I'm going to call him right back.
Yeah, surgery for his dog or putting his dog down, and maybe someone else might be responsible for this. John, what's going on with you, sir? What's going on, John?
Hey, Tom.
Yes, sir.
I had HVAC service, call it J&E handyman service, come out. This gentleman had said that he was going to go ahead and replace the furnace.
Now, this is called, now, he's a handyman, but he does furnaces as well?
Right. Because
Okay.
his daytime job is with Advanced Heating and Cooling. They do commercial stuff. And
I
he came
see.
by my store.
Okay.
I talked to the guy. Says, hey, he goes, hey, by the way, you know, blah, blah, blah. I do this on the side. I
Now,
said,
is
"Man,
this,
I've never
hold on,
had-"
is this, I do this on the side, and he competes with his own employer, or he does residential on the side and he does commercial for his employer?
Just the way you said it, correct. Everything, that's correct.
Which means, I said both ways. So, is it that he's competing with his own employer?
So, no.
Oh, okay.
He does not.
Okay,
He does
because
not. He
here's
does not
why.
do
Here's
residential.
I understand, but here's why I say that for anyone listening. Anyone who says, by the way, you know, this is what we charge, but if you want, I can do this on my own, or I can do it on my own time and you'll save. If they're going to cheat their own employer, they're going to cheat you at some point, and it's never worth it to do it. But now we're talking about a guy who moonlights on his own, which is nothing wrong with that. If he's not cheating his employer, he's doing residential, and his employer's doing commercial. So what went wrong?
So, it comes out. He had said that he was going to do it the day after July 4th, which was a Thursday, or I mean, followed on a Thursday or a Friday.
Yeah, Friday's
So
the day after. What happened?
And what happened afterwards, he comes out, he starts to, on Saturday, he comes out Saturday, which was the 6th, says that he was going to get going, told my mother-in-law, which is 90, that's the only reason, first time in 4 years that I've ever had air conditioning. So he's going to replace the furnace, going to replace the...
All right, hold on a second. Sam, can you get right to the problem? But hold on one sec. And I promise I will talk to you. But Tony is back, and it sounds urgent. I don't want it to run out of time. Tony, tell me what's going on.
Yes.
I took my dog to have it boarded for a week, and I took it to Albrecht Veterinarian Clinic. And when we went to pick her up on Friday, well, not Friday, it was Saturday. She had 2 torn ACLs on her back leg. She had spinal problems. She had a pinched nerve. And today we make a decision to either to put her to sleep or get her operated on.
Let me ask you this here. How old is the dog?
5 years old. She's still a
What
pup.
kind of dog?
It's a Wheaton.
Oh, they're very gentle. Do you think the dog was in a fight or beaten or hurt or I mean
I think maybe the dog was jumped on and well, you know, when I went in to talk to him, they didn't give me any explanation what happened. All they told me was that they're not responsible if I read my contract, and I did read the contract.
Well, hold on. They probably wouldn't be except for negligence of some kind.
Right.
Well, what happened? Did they say what happened?
They didn't give us any explanation, and they were very cold about it. They didn't have no remorse or anything to say, you know, I'm sorry this happened or anything.
All right, hold on. Tony, I'm going to take you and Sam, not Sam, the one with John. We haven't forgotten about your HVAC problem. We got a lot more coming up. Don't forget, excelroofing.com is here. Stick around and save all your problems from me.
If you missed rates being this...
Can we call this clinic or have Daff or somebody do it? I want to get these assholes on. Oh, I gotta leave. Yeah, he's got to leave. I'm sorry.
Are you done with Sam?
Good seeing you, man.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. There's really not much we can do. I want him to send us that screen that he says money laundering on it. Can't find a Wheaton Terrier or Wheaton dog.
I bet it was jumped.
They're cute dogs, man. They're really cute dogs.
If they had 2
soft-coated Wheaton, yeah. I think they're so cute.
God, there's so many hotels.
I tell you, boarding dogs.
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Just hang out at the pool and they're at the beach? That Hyatt.
Well, we drive around, man. We'll be driving.
That Hyatt Regency that I stayed at was like right at the beginning of this.
The Hyatt. Hotel. That's where I am. That's where I was, the Hyatt.
In Maui, the Hyatt Regency?
Isn't it beautiful?
Nice, right? You had those penguins in the lobby?
I don't know.
Yeah, they had penguins in the lobby.
Hold on. They had the parrot.
Yep, giant parrot.
That's the one.
And then, you know how they had like that little
and the restaurants are all...
Yes. Some sushi restaurant or something?
Exactly.
Right over in
I love that
little courtyard, and they had some warm weather penguins.
Do you know what? I always run into people from Denver, from Colorado. I have never gone without running into someone. You know why? If you think about it, that strip has all the big hotels, and now he's the #1 destination, right? So, I mean, when you're going to Hawaii, so obviously you're going to run into people, and I run into people all the time. It's amazing to me, and the reason is because they know me. Say, Tom, you know, or I actually know them. It's amazing. This poor guy with the Wheaton, this sucks. I got to run to the restroom, man. If you have to start.
You hear that, Mark?
What?
If you have to start, we're going to start.
Yeah.
So the volcano, Haleakala, that's cool to drive up to. You drive all around the North Shore of that thing. There's this thing called the Road to Hana. It kind of sucks. I mean, you'll spend all day just like looping around. Whenever I go to those places, I always get a minivan instead of like one of those Mustang convertibles, because the Mustang convertibles are so damn uncomfortable.
These all come with just like a standard whatever.
I like a minivan because
like a Chevy Cruze.
Are you going to snorkel? Do you guys like to do that?
We do like snorkeling.
That way you can drive around. You can find snorkeling spots. There's good beaches. You can do that with a sedan. I always get a bike though too.
I think I'm gonna go with the Sheridan.
How many penguins were there?
7.
Is that how many were at the Hyatt? Does it say?
No.
If you Google it, there was like 3. I think there was 4 or 5.
Because it says here the penguins are very social animals. You need at least 20 so they can.
They didn't have 20.
What is it?
Penguin, a warm weather penguin.
But that place that I was telling you about, that Best Western, it's in Lanai or whatever. That's like right downtown. If you guys want to walk around on their boardwalk things and walk to all the tourist shops and
I keep literally going back to this same hotel, the Sheraton.
Sheraton?
Every time.
How much a night?
package?
It doesn't.
Is it on that strip?
It's
where
on
the highway is?
Costco's package, so it doesn't really break shit down.
Where's it at?
It is
Is it all
located on 23 oceanfront acres in legendary Pooh.
Is that Payal?
Guess so.
How do you?
Pooh.
It's Pooh. It's P-U.
Let's do a Google Maps of it.
Yeah, it looks just a nice facility. There it is. It's right there.
Hold on, go back to that last picture. Yeah, see, check it out. Right here, there's really good snorkeling in a cove, and you'll find a bunch of turtles and stuff like that. Yeah. Right there. That Hyatt Regency is right down the beach on the other side of it. Yeah, that's a pretty good spot.
When we went to Oahu, we stayed on the North Shore at Turtle Beach, dude. We had turtles there. We literally walked out to the ocean from our place. There was our 25th. But these suckers would be right there. They just sit in the water liking the waves, man. Like hundreds of them, literally hundreds of them.
Isn't that cool? There are these giant seals or something like that were hanging out in Hawaii on the beach, and these things would, they looked dead at first, but then they would bring, some guy would bring a rope out and rope them off and keep people away from them.
What's another, besides Hotels.com, what's another
Kayak?
Priceline. Oh, Kayak, yeah, sure.
Oh, really? Kayak is the name of it?
It searches like 20 things, Kayak. It's pretty cool, actually.
I like Google Hotels. If you go to Google Hotels, I think that's what it is, it'll show you all of their locations and then it'll show you the prices.
See, you'll never hear this music.
God, it's annoying, isn't it?
Is that because they took the insulation out between the floors for now, or?
No.
I forgot, but I stopped it immediately.
No, it's been like that ever since I remember.
It's starting to look like crap out there, no? No, it's not.
Nice.
So when you're buying a home, you can be like a cash buyer because once you get approval, all you need is an appraisal and it's done. Whatever you're doing, check with Ideal Home Loans first, whether refinancing or purchasing. 303-867-7000, 867-7000, Ideal Home.
You know,
then that Four Seasons, I go, on the club level, when it says like open bar and food all day long, what the hell does that mean, man? I've been to some places where that means there's a bag of pretzels and a fucking Bud Light, and I've been to places where it's all top shelf, so I have no idea what that means in the Four Seasons.
Well, if it's Four Seasons, it's top shelf.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the most exclusive resorts in the world. And you know who owns it, right? Bill Gates.
Does he really? I didn't know that.
Natural stone and other solid surface countertops.
And the guy who started it.
Granite, quartz, and other natural stones.
I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna fucking call the hotel and ask him.
I bet if you go to reviews, you'll find a review.
But Jesus,
Four Seasons.
Four Seasons can't possibly be in that Costco packing. Mark, do you know how much Four Seasons is to stay? Normal?
It depends which. I mean, it depends which one. There's one in Vail.
Steal.
How much is it?
In New York, it's $4,000 a night, $2,500 to $4,000 a night.
Fuck yeah.
I'll bet you in Hawaii it's $1,000 at least. Normal.
I'm gonna call up and ask.
I mean, I've never heard of a normal Four Seasons ever. Normal. The one in Vail, what do you think that brought for?
I think that's Beaver Creek is where that one's at. That one's probably really. I bet that's $1,500 a night during season.
Easy.
How about
no, there's one right in Vail. Right in Vail, Four Seasons. It's an older one. They're doing a big reno coming up.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. You know, this hour brought to you by One Clear Choice Garage Doors. which, by the way, is the best garage door company ever for service and for installation and for emergencies. One Clear Choice Doors.com. Jay Bretz is with me from Excel Roofing. We love promoting good businesses, okay? So if you have any questions on any of our advertisers, you call us. You hold my feet to the fire. That's how I've survived all these years, nearly 40 years in Denver, because, you know, if you're a phony baloney, you just don't make it. Eventually you're found out. I mean, look at all the people that are marred for life for crazy stuff they tried to get away with on the public. I love what I do, and it's from the heart. Referralist.com. We talk about everything. And One Clear Choice Doors, by the way, has actually done garage doors for me several times, just like Jay has done roofs for me. I mean, everybody we have on the referral list, we always use them. It's really cool. So Tony has a terrible situation here. If you have a terrible situation or just want to mouth off on anything, 303-713-TALK. And then you can call 24/7 to 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. So you have a dog, you take it somewhere, and then it has all these problems? I mean, and the place just says we're not responsible? But, I mean, how does that happen? Can a dog get torn ACLs and all of those problems from, like, scuffling with a dog? I don't mean a vicious dog fight, but playing. Tony, have you talked to a vet? And did they say these injuries are likely from fill in the blank? What have they said?
She's at Plant Pethood right now being
she's at what?
Evaluated at Plant Pethood.
Okay. So I just want to know, what does the place say, this all brick or all breed? Did you say all?
It's all brick. It's one word, Tom.
Oh, I get it.
It's a last name. Or it might be a last name.
Like,
I don't really know.
Like Albrecht. Okay, I get it. So this Albrecht vet clinic, did they say how it may have happened, or did they know something was wrong?
No, they didn't give me any explanation. All they said.
Well, how did you know? Walk me through this. How do you know something's wrong, Tony? You go to pick up your dog. Does it come out limping and whining, or what? What happened?
Yeah, it came out limping, dragging both of its back feet.
Dragging both back feet?
Yes, and when I took it home.
Was it whining? Was it in pain? Was it in distress?
No, it's a good dog. It didn't complain at all. But once it got down, it couldn't get back up. It wouldn't eat or drink.
Is it a male?
It's a female.
Okay, so what's her name?
Her name is Ginger, and she's my wife's dog.
Okay, so Ginger, hold on. So Ginger is at the vet now being evaluated, right?
Right.
Okay.
And we're going to make a decision today.
Now, is it that bad? Wait, is it that bad that she may need to be put down?
Yes. Yes. And well, if you go on the reviews, they have a lot of bad reviews like that, where dogs are being attacked, and even dogs going in to have their teeth cleaning and they die.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of them that they end up dying. A lot of bad reviews on there. I didn't even bother to go to check the reviews before I left.
Is this a vet clinic?
Yes, it is.
And it is all brick, actually.
And they have boarding services, Tom. How much is the surgery going to be, Tony, if you do decide for surgery today?
It's going to be a lot, and I have no
How much? How much?
They haven't gave me a price yet, but they're going to have to do one leg at a time.
Okay.
They can't do both of them.
The ACLs are torn. Other than the ACLs, what's wrong?
She's got spinal problems too.
Like what's? How do we know she has spinal problems?
The doctor, I already talked to the vet. He's supposed to call us back today to let us know what else is wrong with her, and if it's worth even keeping her alive.
When your legs drag like that, Tom, like with our beagle, they said if his other one goes, he's in big trouble.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, I mean, that's what our doctor said.
Yeah, that's a bad sign. But Tony, I'm still trying to figure out. But Tony, I'm still trying to figure out what did the kennel do wrong. I'm not saying they didn't do anything wrong, or they did. I don't know how. I mean, obviously, if dogs play, that's not negligent. You know, I don't know. Unless they heard it yelp and could have helped it, and maybe it wouldn't have gotten this bad. I have no idea. Did it fall? You know, for 2 ACLs, that's the weird thing. I don't know. I just don't know.
That's bad. You know, and when we took her in, she was healthy. She's a playful dog. I mean, she loves to play. She's very
Listen,
friendly.
this is sad, and I love animals, and this is easier said than done, but it might be that you have to put her down. I mean, are we talking like $6 to $8 grand in surgery?
Yeah, around that.
Oh, my God.
And Tom, his wife is disabled, and that's her buddy.
Emotional,
Yeah,
like emotional support.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. When she's hurting a lot, the dog and her are best friends.
Well, you know, you could have taken an emotional support dog with you in many cases. I mean, service animals and emotional support, a lot of people give people crap if they're not an actual service dog, but emotional support animals can be very real. I mean, that's a very real thing. Look, man, I want to call this place. They have to have some comment on this, or we have to start warning people. If they're going to be that cold, I don't know if I just want them just because they're cold.
Tom?
Well,
is this the one on Zunai Street? Is this on Zunai Street?
Yes, and they're the ones that, if you go into their reviews, you'll see what it's like.
Hey, Tom.
Well, they have 3 and 3.5 stars, I think, or no, 3.6. Yes.
Two things. I have a call into the owner first off, and then I wonder if he did go through with the surgery, if he could maybe take the boarding place to court or something for it. Small claims.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Depends.
A lot to prove, and they signed their life away up there.
What did they do? Are you going to be talking to them, or are you going to give it to DAF, or what?
I gave them my cell phone number for the owner to call.
Okay. We do have mixed reviews here for sure. You're looking at them, Jay? But there's some really good reviews, man. Some really good ones. And then 1 stars. That's weird.
I'm looking at them, but the question I've got in my mind, it's a veterinary clinic. Why wouldn't they offer to take care of the dog? And just
That's what I don't understand.
Taken care of.
That's what I don't understand. If they saw the dog was in distress, and if they did not see the dog was in distress, the question would be, why didn't they see it? Now, Dawn says she's held for a long time, so I want to get to her. And, John, I haven't forgotten about you, I promise. Dawn, go ahead. What's happening?
Hello?
Hi, Dawn. I'm sorry for the wait. What's going on, Dawn?
Well, I had took my car to a detailing shop, Quality Auto Detailing.
Yes.
And they left it completely full of water. I've already taken out just from the
Wait a minute.
back,
What do you mean filled with water? What does that mean?
The whole carpet is completely soaking. You push on the carpet, and your whole hand is covered with water.
Oh, my goodness. So was it left out in the rain with the windows open? Is it a convertible? Explain.
My car was completely dry when I took it to the shop.
Is it a convertible?
No, it's not.
What kind of car?
It's a 2014 Chevy Malibu.
Okay, and it was probably left outside in the rain, do you think?
I don't think so. I think it was just from them at the Absolute Quality Auto Detailing. I just think when they were detailing it, they didn't clean and take out all of the water. And,
but it can't, I mean, they'd have to be morons to leave that much water.
Well, yeah, when I got there to pick it up...
Wait, so they presented the car to you in this condition like it was done?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And on top of that, I dropped it off on Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they said they would need to keep it. That way they can keep it in the shop with the doors open and let it air dry, you know. So I dropped it off at 8 o'clock on Sunday, didn't have a car all day Sunday, all day Monday. I picked it up last night at about 10 p.m.
But Dawn, here's what I want to know. Do they readily admit the water came from them, or are they saying something else happened? That's the first thing.
They admitted that water was from them. They said, because when I got to the car and touched it and was like, oh my God, like there's too much water.
Like, let me take an example. If you put a washcloth down on the floor and you patted it and you picked up the washcloth, would you literally have a washcloth drenched?
I would literally have a washcloth drenched. I would literally have a bath mat drenched.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
probably have about 40 of them drenched.
Oh, my goodness. Well, did they offer, hold on, did they offer to, Dawn, to extract the water?
Well, they did for like 20 minutes. When I got there, I had to wait for an additional 20 minutes.
Good.
But the water is still here. I've been cleaning it for over 2 hours this morning. I'm still outside with my steam cleaner and have gotten over 1.5 gallons of water just out of the back two sides.
Wait a minute. They cleaned for an extra 2 hours, and you still got 1 gallon or more than 1.5 gallons?
It was 20 minutes longer.
Okay,
Not
listen.
2 hours, 20 minutes longer.
No, they were only 20 minutes longer?
Yes, but I left it the whole day and picked it up last night when I got there.
Hey, Dawn, you said that. Dawn, here's what I need to know. What do you want?
I need something done because, like I said, I've already worked on the back already over 2 hours.
What do you mean you need something done?
Like, under my feet are still, like, soaking. Like, if you rub your hands along, like if you were sitting in the back and you rub your hands along that back area of your seat, it's wet. Like, not damp, like it's wet.
What do you want, Dawn? What do you want?
Probably a refund. Probably
or something, right? Now, how did they do the listen, we're not going to get into mold right now because that won't be a problem unless it sat there for a month or two and was never, let's not get into the mold thing and the health thing. This is not going to work. But what will work is getting you compensation to get this fixed. I mean, they did more harm than good. But here's what I want to know. What about the engine compartment and the trunk and all these places? You said you had it detailed, is that correct?
Yes, I did. And they actually did clean out the trunk. I haven't really...
What I want to know is this. If you forgot about the water totally, was the detail job a good job? I'm not talking about the water now. Just if you excluded that, was it a good detail job?
It looks really nice.
Okay, hold on. Just hold on.
This report is sponsored by Exxon and Mobil's new Synergy.
I mean, what do you think about this? Suzanne, do we have time to call them? I mean, this is really simple. They did a great job, except they left so much water in there. It's like taking her hours, and she still doesn't have it all out.
Let's see if they'll come on the air.
Sounds like they left the windows open in a rain.
See if they'll come on the air. No, I think that they just cleaned it with too much water, no?
You think they were trying to scrub the carpets with that much water?
Boy, she's making it sound like...
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but if they left it...
She said it's in the seats as well as the carpet, didn't she?
Well, underneath the seats.
Under the seats?
So, where she can't get it underneath the seats and stuff.
Okay, guys.
Exxon and Mobil's new Synergy Supreme Plus Premium Gasoline. Their best fuel ever keeps your engine 2 times cleaner for better gas mileage. It's Supreme. It's premium. It's Supremium.
Okay.
Fill up today.
Mic's on. If you are suffering from depression under a doctor's care and you've tried multiple medicines and they're not working, there is a solution. TMS Solutions. It's electromagnetic therapy that is FDA approved and clinically proven to be more effective than just drugs alone. In fact, instead of just changing drugs from one to another, this has helped people stop the merry-go-round and get effective treatment. In some cases, they've discontinued medication altogether. But of course, that's up to you and your doctor and the doctors at TMS Solution. Yes, they are doctors, and they will work in concert with your doctor. Contact them for more information. 303-928-0499. It's tmssolutions.com. T as in Tom. tmssolutions.com. I need it. Wait, why is this running right after me? This is running again. This is weird, man. This shouldn't... Well...
That's funny. It's a double. We call it the double.
Was that could have been just because it was placed on the rotation for recordings?
drug interactions. TMS is safe, painless, and comfortable. You remain awake.
I've never heard the music before.
Go to this website to find out more. It helps
What music?
those without trying
It's
to
okay.
merry-go-round of drug after drug.
When I have my headset off, is it possible to speak through the speakers? I mean, not all the time, but sometimes.
Oh, there, yeah. Oh, that's the FM station. Yeah.
They haven't adjusted it yet?
I've never heard of it. Every now and then.
God almighty, how difficult can it fucking be?
As you approach retirement, what if you could easily pay
Throughout
off
all the
your
years, I've never heard it.
excess tax-free
Not very
cash
often, but yeah.
alone?
What haven't you heard?
I've never heard the music.
Mortgage from
The music,
American
there's
Finance.
I think it's Studio C, isn't it? KBCO?
But you see, all of those studios now are going to be in the basement.
Just the ones with live music.
Right.
I've never noticed it
That's what the owner of the
all the years.
Usually on
Usually
Thursdays.
Performance.
On line 6.
Performance studios, Mark. Yeah, that's what they are. The performance studios are going to be in the basement.
In your current home for years to come.
Do they keep like drum set up in those performance studios, or do people bring in their own shit?
Conversations are simple,
You know, it's funny how with a lot of studios I would do, everyone else brought in all their own shit except drummers. They were always expected to play on the shit there.
Makes sense, though.
And were they crappy drum sets?
No, it's not so much crappy, but their drums are very personal, man. The way you set them up, the way they're outlined, and it's really.
So you could spend 20 minutes rearranging it.
Fuck, more than 20 minutes. I would come in at night when no one was there, so it didn't matter.
That listens to the show. So he called, he's going to come on, says Tony's full of lies, but I stopped him there. I said, look, we just have you on the show anyway, you just want to come on? He goes, yeah. And so I've got Tony the dog owner on too. So.
And this car wash.
Car wash net.
That's amazing.
It would have to be really traumatic for both ACLs and the spine to be such a big dog jump on.
You control yours.
Big
Don't
dog
you
jump
think?
on them.
I'm sure that's really nice. Dogs do that. They jump on each other. And I'm sure that's what happens. How big is that dog? What kind of dog was it again?
A Wheaton. A Wheaton is.
Are they kind of skinny? They're a running dog.
They're big dogs, but they're not heavy dogs.
Yeah.
They're like a sheepdog, okay? Like a sheepdog.
Oh, I was thinking like a greyhound.
No. They have a lot of hair. They're like a sheepdog, like a gray, I'm sorry. They're usually a buff color, tan. They're really cute. They call them a terrier, but they're way bigger than what you're thinking of as. Okay, do you know those Airedales? They're like that size, but they're long.
You make the jaw square with the fur.
No, that's the Airedale, but the Wheatons are very cute dogs. They're very cute.
They look like poodles almost.
Yeah, they do.
And they're very sweet dogs.
We send in a cleaning crew.
Yeah,
they're called like. Are you looking at the what is it called? The smooth coat or the
soft coated Wheaton?
Yeah, they're beautiful. Stephanie's sister had one.
The old soft coated Wheaton.
Yeah, they put a mohawk down the front.
Oh, they don't normally cut them like the Airedales. I just happen to say that. Normally, they're just left. They're left more shaggy, like the ones at the bottom. Usually.
Oh yeah.
Aren't they? They're really cute. I love the way they look.
And then they put the hair over the eyes.
Jay, do you guys have a dog?
We lost Dolly about 3 months ago.
Oh my God, how old was she?
12.
That was hard. Oh my God.
Look.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Listen, priority-wise, I need to go to the business owner at All Brick Vet Clinic because he's on. And we always give priority to that. And I believe he contacted us, which is good. He wanted to talk, and we always want to get the other side. I guess the obvious question is, how do you take a dog in, according to the owner, that's healthy and playful, and he comes out with 2 torn ACLs and spinal problems to a point where they may have to put the dog down because they can't afford the surgery? And then I said, and he was listening, what did they do wrong? I mean, if dogs play, that's not negligence. What did they do wrong? Or he sounded also to be a little upset with a lack of empathy, maybe, or I don't know. He said they didn't care. But anyway, let's talk to David Yito and let him tell his own story. David, thank you for being here. I hope I didn't slaughter your last name. Is it Yito?
No, it's actually Yato, so you were close.
Yato. David, can you explain this situation through your perspective?
Well, first, because I will be talking about his dog, I need to get the owner's permission to discuss this.
Okay, hold on a second. And Hey, Tony, is it okay if we discuss this with David?
Sure.
Although I've never heard of HIPAA for dogs, but that's pretty cool that he respects your privacy. So I'm going to let him talk. Okay, so David, thank you. And, yeah, he said that's fine.
Because I have his record right here in front of me.
Okay.
Back October 21st of 2017, he brought Ginger in because the back right leg, he was limping on it. And at that time, there was discomfort. I'm reading right from the record, shortening some things up.
Oh, I
see. Time, there was some discomfort in the right knee, and so we suspected that he had an ACL, anterior cruciate ligament tear. At that time, he was put on some pain medication, and it was recommended that we set him up for X-rays in order to diagnose that. We didn't hear back from him. Then I noticed in the computer, March 22nd of 2018, he brought Ginger in. They brought Ginger in to be groomed, and the groomer at that point made a notation in the computer that the dog was limping in the right rear leg. Well, nothing was done because we'd already explained what was going on with him at that time, and we took it that he chose just not to do anything about it.
Can I ask you something, David? Are you a veterinarian? Obviously, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So can an ACL present as an ACL, and then can it go away a little and come back? Is it symptomatic sometimes, or is it usually just progressively worse?
It can be present and then go away and then come back if you have a partial tear of the ACL, and then they'll kind of get used to how it feels.
Okay.
And then some trauma later on.
So what happened then? Okay, so we're in March of 18. Then what happened?
Well, then, let's see. He brought Ginger in to be boarded here, and we have a daycare area. And so when he was out in daycare, our people noticed that he was limping. And so I'll just and this was on the 12th of July here, and I'll just kind of read some of the things. Right hind leg, toe touching lameness. So in other words, he will put his toe down, but he won't put full weight on it. And let's see, limping began in daycare. Otherwise, everything looks pretty good with the dog. The right hind leg, there was what we refer to as medial buttressing. And this occurs when you have an ACL that's been a long-standing situation, and there's a bony protrudence that occurs as a result of that.
Hold on one sec. Just 1 second. I want you to continue. Just hold on a second. Now, Tony, I just want to ask something, all right? Wouldn't it have been fair to mention that the dog had a diagnosis of an ACL before this? You never mentioned...
They never told me it was an ACL. Never.
But okay, limping. How about limping? Wouldn't it have been all right?
She plays around. I thought maybe she just hurt her foot a little bit. She got better, so it was fine.
Okay, hold on. Okay, keep going, doctor. Keep going.
And also it was noted that on the left hind, there was also medial buttressing on that knee as well. So this is bilateral.
What do you think happened? What do you think happened most recently that he's so upset about? Where I mean, they may have to put the dog down. How does it go from bad to worse like that? Do you think?
Maybe being out in the daycare because we have a pretty large outdoor area. Maybe just that running around just inflamed both knees, and so now he's limping again. And I also want to note that. We called him on the 12th of July, and it's noted down here with his telephone number. It went straight to voicemail. We left a message on voicemail updating the situation of the leg. And when he came in to pick the dog up, because I've already talked to the person that checked him out, and he told this person that the dog had already been limping, and he thinks it hurt it at some previous time when the dog was being groomed. Not here, someplace else.
Okay, so hold on. So, do you do repairs of ACLs? I'm just curious if that.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So what is it? I'm not talking about Tony. I'm talking about what does it normally cost to get an ACL repaired?
Well, let's see. This guy looks like he's about 49 pounds or 41 pounds. And usually if you have a smaller dog, we'll go ahead and do an extracapillary support type of surgery.
It's like fishing line.
That, yeah, and
Okay.
And you can do that in smaller dogs because they won't rupture them. And I think that usually runs about $1,400. Now, the bigger type dogs, the more active dogs, we like to do a surgical procedure, the TPLO, and that'll run about $1,000.
Do you feel like you did anything wrong at the clinic or your people did anything wrong?
No, I do not.
You feel like it was inevitable because of the previous injuries?
Yeah, and you know, we went over all this with him back in 2017. He never followed up with anything.
And you say you actually called to give an update while he was being boarded?
Yeah, at the emergency numbers that
Tony,
we have.
Tony, I listen, man. I listened to your story, and now we're listening to his, so I have natural questions because I asked what they did wrong, and you never mentioned they called you.
They never did call me. My phone,
Okay.
there's no number in my phone.
Is he just lying?
I don't know. All I can tell you is that one of my other doctors called. I have a telephone number here, and it's written down that it went straight to voicemail, and this doctor left a message updating about the leg.
Gosh. Anyway, like I said, Tony, I don't know. What do you think, Tony? What do you think the clinic would be responsible for, knowing that there was some previous injury?
I think they're responsible for watching the dogs when they let them out.
They did watch them.
Personally, I think the dogs probably, my dog probably got jumped by a bigger dog or something.
That's called playing, Tony. You're right. I understand. Yeah. But that's normal. That's not negligence. I mean, the dog. I'm trying to be fair here. Really, I am. And I'm wondering if this was my dog, would I hold the vet or the clinic responsible for this? Hold on a sec. I just don't know. I don't think I would. I'll just be straight with you, Tony. Maybe you can work something out. Since you went to this vet before, maybe you can work something out where he can help you with a discount or something on getting the dog repaired. I don't know. Let's figure it out.
KRFX HD2 Denver. This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
I always have a question. They're either 1-star or 5-star.
Yeah. Why are they 1-star or 5-star?
Not all. There are a couple 4 stars.
How many more? Are they more better than bad or what?
Anytime I see that, I always think fake reviews.
Well, what do you think, guys? You think the bad ones are fake?
No. I think people don't put in bad ones.
I think it's funny that Tony never mentioned.
People that don't like them would.
Yeah, and there's got to be a reason why they don't like them.
Don't you think Tony would have mentioned that in his whole story?
That's what bothers me, is he never mentioned any problems whatsoever.
And don't you
that
think
bothers me.
The vet clinic, I think they told the guy, because they're wanting to sell an ACL surgery. Don't you think? They're wanting to sell more services. So back in 2017, hey, your dog needs ACL surgery. It's $1,500 bucks. Or what did he say, $1,400?
Yeah.
Now they're talking about vet care. I don't see anything about the boarding.
Yeah, you know what? It's all under the same.
Yeah, but look at it and you see what they're talking about. Centeno Schultz, and that is the place that I recommend for living stem cell therapy. Centeno Schultz. Now, Dr. Chris Centeno also has a string of clinics called Regenex. Here is the important message. Stem cell therapy is not a panacea for all things wrong, all pain, and it will not necessarily cure or correct all situations. It is effective, quite effective, in certain areas. And Centeno Schultz knows, because of their vast background of experience, the only ones who have been doing it this long, so they have the most records to show. And when stem cell therapy is not appropriate or called for, they have other therapies available. No other clinic can offer that. Centeno Schultz, thestemcellexperts.com. But not always stem cell, sometimes PRP or prolotherapy of other kinds. Avoid surgerytoday.com. AvoidSurgeryToday.com.
Hey Jay, this angel of ours, he just had a question. It sounds like to me, making sense of this, that his attic door access or his attic fan is in the garage and he's leaving it open to see if that keeps the AC from running too much. Does that make sense to you? He is in Arkansas.
No, it doesn't.
So he said, and also, what is too hot in the attic? What temp should a homeowner be concerned about?
Anything above room temperature, in my opinion.
In your attic?
But you'll never
Our
get
attic's
it cooler.
like 1,000 degrees.
No, I know, but if you're asked anything above room temperature, it'll never be room temperature. So if it's 80, it's too hot. If it's 90, it's too hot.
It should be outside air temperature. The attic,
ambient.
The attic should. So have you heard of people leaving their door open on the attic to?
Well, he's talking about his garage. Usually the garage is separate from the house.
Right.
Because they put a wall up inside of the attic because they don't want a fire to travel between. Sometimes garage attics aren't ventilated as well. So if he's got the attic access off in the garage area, I don't think
that's not going to help.
I don't think it's a big deal. If it makes him feel good and he thinks he's getting more ventilation because of it, sure, okay. Why not?
But too hot would be anything hotter than outside.
Ambient.
The best scenario is to keep the attic the same temperature as the outside air. And usually a fan is the only way to do that.
Because it'll exchange the air with the outside.
Because it exchanges the air so many times, so quickly.
12:37 because he watches. So I'll say, go back and listen to what Jay said. Okay. Thanks, Jay.
That's the best you can hope for. If you don't have good attic ventilation, Tom, it can be 50 degrees hotter up there. So on a 95-degree day, it might be 145, 150 degrees.
I would almost like to put a thermometer up there just to see.
And you can put your hand on one of those ceilings and you can feel the heat. And a lot of people don't worry about it. Maybe they don't know, but you'd never run the oven. Did you ever run your oven in your kitchen in the middle of summer?
Do you know something? I put ridge venting in one of my homes in the past, way before I knew about anything. But somebody said to do it. And my God, was that house a changed house.
Yeah, ridge vent works really well.
Oh God, the whole house. Because we were building it.
Not as good as the fan though. The fan's gonna, it's gonna exchange so much air.
Actively.
What about gables? They're good, aren't they?
So if you have two gable vents on a house, if you put a fan on one side and create a wind tunnel where it pulls it through, that's really good. But if you just have two gable vents and there's no active way to pull the air through, then
you always have to have soffits.
But ridge vents, I mean, that's kind of passive. I mean,
it is passive.
You know, just goes up and
But
like
really
the harder
good.
the wind blows, the more it's going to work.
Have you ever seen the soffits that are kind of the whole soffit on the inside to the wall is open?
Opener.
Yeah.
You mean like
graded.
Graded, yeah. I got some of those.
You don't want critters in there, but have you ever seen that? Like it's daylight. If you look up in an attic, there's daylight all over there. That must be really good.
Well, you want a 50-50 balance is what you want.
But you still need the air to be pushed through.
How could it be harmful having too much inlet air?
Because then, especially on these hard driving snowstorms, remember Mark?
Oh yes.
Mark, remember that? The hard driving snowstorms out there? It
Yeah.
blew a bunch of snow into your attic, like a foot worth. And then it melted.
I know, but how did that happen because of too much inlet?
Because it wasn't properly balanced. But that house...
That would have happened anyway. It didn't matter, right? Because it just had a lot of air.
So if you're in an area like that and the predominant wind is coming from the west, from the west.
Put them on the other side.
Put them on the other side. Still, it might be unbalanced, but if you put a fan up there, then it makes everything right.
Right. All right. I'm Tom Martino. Let's get right to it. Let's solve some problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier. Renew Home Innovations. Remember, Renew Home Innovations for the most beautiful bathrooms in the world. Yep. If you want a stunning bathroom, a stunning shower, they use all Kohler materials, including Serica for the walls that look like solid stone sheets. They're beautiful. And you can do even pure porcelain. RenewHomeInnovations.com. They also have a lower model for your intermediate home. So they have a good, better, best. But all of them look great. 303-904-2000. 303-904-2000. Let's keep going. So, we were discussing this off the air. Tony, I'm not indicting you. I'm just saying that I think there is some information that you could have shared with us that would have gotten us a more perspective. I'm just going to say it, and that's it. Unless Dr. Yedo is completely lying about the previous visits. But if you took that dog in and you have on your record the ACL, oh no, that's me. Whoops, I might have dropped Tony by mistake. Okay, I didn't mean to. So I don't really know what he wants. Albrecht Vet Clinic was happy to get on the air and discuss it openly. So that's it. I don't know what he wants. Is he on again or not? I must have gotten rid of him by mistake, Suzanne. It's my fault. Ross, you have a comment on this. Go ahead, Ross. What's your comment?
I have a similar situation, not exactly the same, but I'll probably be calling into your show.
With a different clinic or this clinic?
No, a different one.
When you say similar, was it boarded?
It was boarded, yes.
Okay. All right. So if you want to hold, I'll take your call. But let me go back to Tony because we did get him back. Tony, that was a mistake. I'm sorry. You got off. Okay. So what do you want?
Nothing. I just feel they didn't have any remorse or anything about the dog when I went to pick it up.
Yeah,
and
I understand.
When I told them about it, they said, "Well, we're not responsible." I mean, they were just the way they came across.
See, Tony, I get you. I get you. And you know what?
They had no feelings or nothing.
Many calls we get are more, if you drill down, are more about feelings than they are issues. Really, they're more about feelings. And Tony, I get exactly what you mean. And in that regard, only you know how you felt. And no one can argue with your perception. And maybe you're not asking for anything, but you're saying, look, they didn't even listen or they didn't care. And Dr. Yedo, that is, I think that's a legit concern. If he said he didn't feel any, I don't know, he didn't feel like you were empathetic at all, or your staff was.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? It's like we examined the dog. We didn't charge him for it. We left a message. He did to call us back, and we have a pretty busy clinic here, and it was already seen that this was a previous issue because of the medial buttressing. So I don't know where's his empathy for actually taking care of the dog when all this was first brought out 2 years ago.
Yeah, and this might be a good example of turning away patients or customers. I mean, if you have a dog that's coming in with a limp, I mean, that I would say not to use him, not to let him in. I mean, and Tony, I don't think you're wrong for how you're feeling. I don't think Dr. Yetter's wrong. I mean, he's thinking, look, if you really loved the dog, you would have acted on it. They told you. They have records to show it. And they even examined the dog while he was there and gave you a follow-up call, which you say you didn't get. Listen, I just don't think, guys, do you think he's out and out lying, the vet, when he says there are people called? I don't know. But you guys do with this what you want. Now, one thing I will say on the reviews, they're either 5-star or 1-star. I've never seen it. And the 1-star, they're not, Dan, you've been looking at them longer than me, but the 1-stars are not about the boarding so much as the care.
Right, it's pretty much everything is for the vet, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any problems with the boarding facility in these reviews. So anyway, I don't know. I would love to hear what people think about this. Really, I do. Now, Jonathan, may I get you started? What's going on, Jonathan? Are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
What's happening?
Yes, I had a question. I purchased a home about a couple years ago, and it was a great home, and the basement was finished and all that good stuff. And then I got a property tax valuation last year and again this year. I called the county assessor. I'm like, why'd I get one each year as opposed to every other year, which is how they do it up here in Larimer County.
Right.
And they said it was because of substantial improvements. And I learned from the assessor it's because of a finished basement.
Okay.
So my question is, it came to my attention that I never had a permit for that basement when I bought it.
Did you buy it with the basement improved?
The basement was already finished, and it looked like the builder had done it. And I looked at the seller disclosure statement. There's no mention. It was advertised as finished. No mention of permits. And
well, hold on. Did they, Jonathan? Wait a minute. Some of the disclosures ask, have any improvements been done without permits?
And there's nothing saying that nothing saying that there was anything done without permits.
Here's what I'm asking: was the question asked
on the disclosure statement?
Yeah, they only have to answer those questions only if there is a disclosure statement. They can't lie to you, but they don't have to tell you. They don't have to say, by the way, I did a basement and I don't have permits. They don't have to tell you that unless it was asked.
Yeah, and I don't know if it needs to be explicit like that, because there is questions along the lines, and I apologize, I don't have.
But Jonathan, let's say I believe you. They did not pull a permit in the basement, therefore, finish the sentence. Therefore what? They owe the extra tax?
Well, my question is, do I need to worry about that from a city perspective, or is that something that is really not something I need to worry about from a city being fined and whatnot? And
good question. Now I know why. You're not, okay, you're wondering, if they didn't pull a permit, what are the consequences to me? Good question. Hold on one sec.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Let's start
Just test talking to me.
Eastbound C470 approach.
Dr. Kelly's coming up.
Is still residual.
That was perfect, and it even muted the other one.
On hers, hammer the...
It's been your fault the whole time with the button.
Of what's going on there.
Bullshit.
Hammer the $59
225
X-rays cleaning.
Being cleared out of the way. The right side of the roadway is blocked, though. Backups to universities.
I'm glad you finally got it right.
And watch out for pothole repairs.
I'm glad you finally got it right. So if you want to talk to me when I have these on, fine. But when I don't, and you get my attention, so far it works great.
I'm Pete Wagner. 630 K-How.
Do it right to save 5% every day by shopping at Lowe's in-store or online.
No, I
Save
went.
5% on eligible purchases just by using your Lowe's Advantage card. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
How much?
Subject to credit approval, cannot be combined with other credit offers.
A lot more than 34.
Details, U.S. only.
I went with the
Let's talk about Avenue Dental Studio. They have a special that I think is incredible, and I urge you to take advantage of it. It's $59, and they will give you a complete cosmetic consultation along with exam, x-rays, and cleaning, whether or not you want to go through with cosmetic procedures. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to tell you, can some cosmetic procedures correct your smile, and exactly what do you need, and what will it cost? Now, when you get all of that, that's a value in and of itself. But in addition to that, you get a cleaning and x-rays and a complete exam. That's the only way they really know the condition of your mouth. 720-240-4740, $59. Exam, x-rays, cleaning, and a cosmetic consultation. 720-240-4740, AvenueDentalStudio.com. Okay, I did that on purpose so I can have it.
in as little as 10 days. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky for American Financing, and
man,
letting credit card
I
interest compound at 18 or 20% or more. Move it into your mortgage at a much lower rate and save up to $1,000 a month. Mortgage rates haven't been this low in over a year, so now is the time to take advantage. As long as you have equity in your home, you can pay off any debt.
I got to run to the airport when I'm done at down at the Centennial, but I'm going to just continue. I've got to do all these spots.
Salary-based mortgage consultants today,
today.
it takes just 2 minutes to start. There's no commission, no obligation, no pressure.
People put so much emphasis on that. I don't give a shit.
Customized for your needs. You might
What's
even
that?
be able to delay up to 2 months of mortgage payments.
In my old house.
Nothing to lose except a
Yep,
bunch of
that's
interest
right.
expense.
It was no big deal,
So
right?
give them a call. 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000.
That's the only downside is you don't know.
AmericanFinancing.net.
No, that was done right.
Was that brought up at closing?
I'll tell you the one thing they made me redo. The fart fan emptied right into an empty space, so I had to carry the fart fan out to the outside. That was it. Other than that,
and avoid surgery.
it was perfect.
Downtownshealthcare.com.
Flexident of Colorado.com.
It's terrible.
You should just run the fart fence right into the ductwork.
It's terrible how you call it a fart fan.
Value because they don't touch the paint.
Did I do Genesis? No, one clear choice.
And the heater smells like shit. You know somewhere at some place someone's run the fart fan into the ductwork.
For sure. I see plumbing vent pipes all the time next to swamp coolers on roofs. And the swamp coolers is pulling in all the air. And also I see them sometimes next to a furnace vent, and that's okay, kind of, because you shouldn't be running the swamp cooler and the furnace at the same time. But if the water heater vent exhaust pipe is next to the swamp cooler, and it sucks in that carbon monoxide and puts it right back into the house.
Oh, really? That's
I see that mistake on like maybe 1 out of every 30 swamp coolers I look at. You've just got, and you put attic vents next to them. It's kind of dumb because you're pulling that, you're using that super hot.
Yeah, so one goes.
Yeah, the plumbing vents. That's what smells like shit. Yeah.
Well, I feel better now that I
Mark,
went through there.
the loudest voice in the room is a miniseries on HBO about Roger Ailes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a brilliant miniseries.
Is it really good?
Yes.
It looks horrible to me.
It's about the
It looks like that movie Cheney. I just have no
It looks
fucking...
like Cheney.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like Cheney. That one with Cheney, I thought, big fucking whooping deal. Who gives a shit? He's a power broker. But this one goes in, if you like it, it goes into TV news and how he launched the network. And he was the first one to do a few things that other people didn't do. And what his thoughts were, you know, if it wasn't with the sexual shit, the other shit, he was pretty smart. I mean, that sexual, you know, with women, you know, that's what killed him. But his knowledge, God,
I never understand about guys like that because he's got so much money and so much power. Does he really have to harass the women he works with?
Just go out and hire a prostitute if you want. I mean,
that's the part I never get.
I mean, why do you? It's a power trip with them. They feel like they gotta. Oh, I'm gonna conquer this woman.
Like when Riley didn't, he didn't promote them that they wouldn't have sex with them.
Do you believe Riley that part? He denies it vehemently.
He gave the one millions of dollars.
He settled $20 million. You don't just come out of pocket with $20 million unless someone's got something. $20 million. I can see making it go away for $500 with this kind of money, but
hold on, that poor Bill Cosby, the way he was railroaded. I'm just.
What's wrong with
he got dog by all those women.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. So we've all purchased stuff with permits and without things that have been done without permits. We've all done things with and without permits. You know, my deal isn't so much about a permit as it is, what did you get? And that's the essence, Jonathan. As far as the county or city goes, if you go to upgrade and things were done previously without a permit, they may ask certain things to be brought up to code if it's obviously out of code. I don't know anyone that goes after current owners for a lot of that stuff unless, again, it's out of code and is going to be redone or dangerous. So in a home inspection, you would hope, and an engineering report, you would hope that before you bought it, you'd know if there's anything dangerous. But that's really is the big deal. It's not what the county or city will do, but what did you get, Jonathan? Now, was it just a basement remodeled?
It was a finished basement, and it's an excellent finish.
All right. What you can do is find out who did it and ask them about it, get the plans, and then find out how it was done. Count the number of outlets, count the studs if you want. With a stud finder, you can find out, are they roughly spaced properly? HVAC, was it vented properly? Do you have enough return air? All the basics. That's really all you need to do, is just see what did you get instead of the technicality on the permits.
So how do you know how to go about finding who would have finished the basement if I don't know where the owners are?
Referralist.com.
No, he didn't say to do it. He said who did it. I don't know. No, I don't know. I mean, I thought you were in contact with the sellers.
No, I am not. And I guess, you know, my question is, I mean, if I won't get in trouble with like the city down the road, or if I go to sell it in the future and it's not going to bite me
Well, first of all, you can honestly mention you did not have anything done without a permit.
Okay.
I mean, you can honestly mention that. You don't have to say, oh, by the way, I think that guy before me did. It doesn't matter. All you have to answer is what you did and what you know for sure. And the only time it comes back to bite you is if you're going to disturb it. You're going to do a remodel, or you're going to do something, and the previous work is not up to code. If you disturb or change something not up to code, it has to be brought up to code.
Okay. So would you think it'd be worthwhile to try, is there such thing as retroactive permits just to get it on record?
You know, there are, and many times you're opening up a can of worms that should not be opened up.
Okay.
I mean, do you want to expose walls to rough electric and all of that? I mean, I think you're overthinking this, Jonathan. What municipality did you say you were, Larimer?
Yep, I'm up in Loveland.
I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, you said the quality is obviously good.
Yep.
You may want to ask neighbors if they noticed any trucks. When do you think it was redone?
The home was built in 2012, and I'm guessing it's probably, you know, maybe a year or two after is my guess.
You may want to ask neighbors. That's all. I wouldn't overthink it. Chris, I hope I can help you quickly. What's happening?
Well, I got a plumb line to come out and take a look at my sewer line just because I know in the future I'm going to have to replace it because it's very old.
They're good people for that, yes.
Yeah, it's got an orange tube in it because I thought they'd be cheaper because they own all their own equipment.
They can also, hold on, they can also do pipe bursting and stuff, but what did you...
How much per foot do you think is normal for...
There is no normal per foot. It depends on what they're going through, but hold on, and we'll get you back on and have them explain it all, or or see if you can get a better deal. So, Suzanne, let's get him back on. Save all your problems for me.
You hear a lot of celebrity...
$10,000.
Oh, no.
No, probably 15 to 20.
Yeah,
15 to 20 for what?
We have one on our referral list. Most of them are $49.95 to $59.95.
For what?
For new sewer lines. That's all they do is sewer lines.
$49.95. $5,000 bucks.
5 to 6.
Wow, I was thinking 10.
That's literally their referral list main thing too. Is that?
Who is that?
Let me look. I don't even remember. They've gotten good reviews too, man. I was a little skeptical.
Were they all 5-star except for those 1 stars?
Except for the 1 stars, they're all 5 stars or less.
That's what Dano does.
Okay, exactly.